I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafiz. With me, as always, Devin, and we have three special guests with us here today. We lost one. Started
two.
Well, we'll get back. We'll bring Juvie back here in a little bit, but we'll talk about the people we have here. So I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm gonna have you guys actually introduce yourself. So let's start with JD. JD, tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself.
So my name's JD from the from Wrestle Bread Podcast. There we go. Now we got him.
There we go. Yeah. Right when it started, it was like, oh, okay. Okay. We got three special guests. I'm like, no, that's two. There we go.
Devin's got some editing to do already.
Oh, man.
I'm JD from the Wrestle Bread Podcast. I'm also actually planning to start a Twitch channel to keep on the lookout with that as well. You may see my cat. She likes to sleep on my desk. So if you see a little white and black fur ball just hop up behind my back, that's what that is.
Awesome. Juvie, man, you back? So
I'm back, man. I'm here. I'm at it.
Please introduce yourself, man. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
What's going on? My name is Juve, short for Juvie Desayuno, one half of the Hard Camera Podcast. Shout out to my tag team partner, Big Ren, the legendary. Check us out on Twitter at The Hard Camera, the Instagrams at The Hard Camera. We every pay-per-view we do the prediction show and then the recap show, but we like to spend a little time just talking about this life thing as it comes. We just dropped the best of volume 6 on Friday the 13th, so go check us out. We took a hodgepodge of some of those conversations, and some mature, some immature, a little laughter, a little sadness, a little thinking, a little introspection, a little bit of everything there. THC. Thanks for having me, y'all.
That's awesome. We're happy to have you, man. Happy to have you. And Dom, tell the people about you and the crew over there at Top Rope.
And the crew. and the absentee crew.
Gotta represent.
Baked in the heat today. I hope you feel better, guys. Yes. By the way, Juvie, I was just listening to that. So sidebar.
Oh, my man.
Anyway.
My man. Appreciate it.
Good stuff. But, I think some of y'all know me, but just in case, as you can see, it's me. Not DDP, but the greatest champ in Top Rope history. I am the South Philly Psycho, the man who moved just 90 minutes from North Carolina. And apparently, according to Wendy, as of yesterday, the American Nightmare of Podcasting, DOM.
Hey, I like that. Okay.
I am repping the TRWT3 tonight with my homegirl, the first lady of Top Rope, Grandma Wendy, and of course the founder, the biggest MJF mark you will ever meet in the world, the high class one, Bruce. And I am damn happy to be here. I listen to a lot of Juvie. I've hung out during live streams with JD, my queen of Philly. It is nice to finally meet you guys, and of course I love working with these guys, no matter how much we fight.
Nigerian psychos reunite.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we are here. What has brought this collective together here is the SummerSlam predictions. We got SummerSlam coming up here in about a week from this Sunday. Some of us are looking forward to it. Dom mentioned a little bit about not as hyped as I'd like to be. mean, obviously, you know, when we started talking about it, Dom, you brought it up. Like, there's a lot of things going on in WWE and with these releases that make you say, you know, not sure how I feel about it, especially with NXT. And I feel you on that too. So definitely feeling certain type of way about all that. I guess you know, we're going to get into the good stuff with SummerSlam, but since we're bringing it up, just for the audience here, just, I guess, share a little bit about that. We'll just spend a couple minutes just on your general thoughts about what's going on with NXT, I guess, being reformatted into this whole new thing, and, you know, Triple H not, you know, maybe Vince trying to show up Triple H a little bit with some of his moves. How you feeling, man? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh man, it's painful. Like, I think I know Hafiz loves NXT. I know that's
my favorite
black and gold brand. That's his thing. I love NXT. So to see them gutting it and changing it and everything else, it's like, why did you bring it up in the first place then? Because you stuck it on a network and you basically threw it to the wolves so it could fight with AEW, and you only really tried to push it and make it real competition right around that Survivor Series that they came into and won. And at that point, it was actually pretty good. They were winning. And then all of a sudden you just went, okay, back to being the redheaded stepchild, and the rest is history. And to see guys like Bronson Reed go, I mean,
that blew my mind.
How hot was Bronson Reed before he got released?
Yeah,
you know, they had just debuted the Diamond Mine, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, Tyler Russ, get out. It's like, really? You plugged them for 6 weeks. They were on TV for maybe 2, and you're already cutting them.
Yeah,
it just feels like, I don't know if it's some kind of, like you said, Vince kind of trying to spank Triple H and tell him to know his role, or if this is just punishment after the fact because they couldn't compete. But whatever it is, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, even if they move, and let's say they do move NXT to Peacock or something like that, go back to the way it was on the network, which was probably its best, then what's USA going to say? They got 2 hours to fill. They got a contract with WWE. What do they do then? But the whole thing makes no sense to me. And every time I want to get excited for SummerSlam because something's happened, because this is a big show. Like, every year it's a big show, and I start getting excited for a match, and then something like this happens. Like, NXT gets gutted, where here's another Raw, and you're like, oh, what are they doing now? Why is Michael Cole in Drew McIntyre's intro in Chicago? I know y'all feel me on that. In Chicago,
right.
16-time champion. Like, what is Chicago trying to say? And let them say it. They have the right. They've been waiting on this. They paid. Let them say whatever the hell they want to say. Nope. We got to throw Michael Cole in instead. Every time on the way leading into the show, you get excited, and then something happens, and you're just like, it just brings you down.
I feel you.
I'm excited for the show. I'd rather not watch the lead up. Is that bad?
I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, we talked at length about it the last time with our last show, just our thoughts on this whole thing with NXT, and it sucks. It's my favorite brand. So, you know, I'm not liking what I'm hearing, and I'm optimistically hoping that, you know, that what they're saying about this whole restructure and it just being big guys and guys under 30 and all that isn't true. Because, like, half the roster that I love does not fit into that at all.
Not at all. So, Adam Cole is not that guy.
Adam Cole ain't that guy.
Johnny Gargano
is not that guy.
Tommaso Ciampa
is not that guy.
He's not that guy.
You
and
know,
Johnny's about to have a baby. Like, what are you going to do? Throw him out on the street while his wife is pregnant?
Dude,
that's
man.
some bullshit
Seriously,
right
that'd be
there.
some cold ass shit right there.
It really would.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Juvie, what about you, man? Juve, what you thinking?
I've never been on the Bronson Reed train, and I had to stop myself when I've never, like, weeks at a time, every episode of the Hard Cam, I find a way to, like, say how I'm just not on that train. I don't know what it was. I don't even know why. Nothing about him was compelling to me.
Not even the theme song?
Claw thing, like, what are you grabbing at? What are you grabbing? What are you grabbing at? Why did you, like, ask for permission? What did you just start grabbing? Like, what are you doing?
Every week he's like just reaching out for you.
So I was never on it. So, like, when Swerve took the title from him, I was like, okay, yeah, Swerve. Yeah. Okay. I will say I was surprised though that he was released, considering I try to stay away from rumors because, I mean, rumors, right? Hearsay. Yeah. But, like, you know, the thoughts that he would be going to Raw or SmackDown. I thought he was in the prime position to at least do something more. So I was really surprised with his release. I was surprised with Tyler Rust too, for the same reasons. Because even before Diamond Mine debuted, like he was putting on really solid, compelling matches in his time on NXT. So I was really surprised to see him go. Especially with the Diamond Mine debuting such a seemingly prominent faction on the rise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. JD, what about you? What you thinking?
I'm just very confused about the whole NXT situation, especially if the rumors are true that they're trying to rebrand it. It definitely shows that Vince McMahon is getting his hands into it. But it's something that I heard about, I think it was on Twitter or something like that, that WWE isn't meant for fans, that Vince rather have a studio audience, and that the show is more for a casual fan than it is for fans like us that watches NXT and stuff like that. Because a lot of the things that they have done is questionable. Like, why would you bring up the NXT champion and then have him lose in front of a casual crowd? Yep. And so now when you finally bring this person up, the casual crowd will say, oh, that's the guy that got beat by Jeff Hardy under 4 minutes. Why should I care about this person? It's just like there's no caring about the next generation. And I think the WWE execs need to realize that the next generation is how you stay in business. So it's like, are they preparing to get out of the business or something like that? Because normally when you try to continue on with your business, you are trying to bring up the next generation of who's going to continue on. John Cena is gone. The Rock is gone. Stone Cold is gone. Hulk Hogan's gone. There's but so many times you could bring back these people. And we see now with SummerSlam, here comes Goldberg. And every time there's one of the big four that's coming out, it's either Goldberg, John Cena, The Rock, or Brock Lesnar who's coming back. So it's like they have to realize that the big names that we all grew up on and what really carried the company, they can no longer serve the company anymore. And so now you have to bring up the next John Cena. You have to bring up the next Rock, the next Stone Cold. And Vince McMahon just doesn't have the trust in that. He doesn't. And we see here, if the rumor is true, he doesn't have the trust in Triple H either. Because Triple H has the idea of bringing up the next generation. And it's a shame that, if this is true, that he is getting blamed for what happened, because you can't really compare a developmental company versus a company that is trying to be, a main event. Right. It's two different situations, two different type of audiences that it's serving.
And the viewers see that.
Yeah, and the viewers see that. Like, I felt as though it was great that they separated. So people who love both companies, who like both shows, they don't have to split their attention or watch one show live one night and then watch the replay another night. We could all watch NXT at the same time and then catch Dynamite at the same time. But it's just very confusing, especially with a lot of the releases that's going on. These are people that can make you money. Bronson Reed was, he had a lot of potential. I thought he was somebody that Vince McMahon would really like, especially to be for his size and everything. He's young still, and he could definitely move around, unlike, a big guy. But I started to see how Vince McMahon views the big guys from NXT once Keith Lee came up, and they changed his moveset, and they made him move around like he was Earthquake or something like that from back in the day. And it's like, okay, well, you guys are constantly trying to put people into this cookie cutter as far as you want them to move around like Hulk Hogan and all these people from back in the day, where it's not that time anymore. A lot of fans today, we want wrestlers, we want gimmicks that's more relatable. A lot of things don't really connect. That's why Roman Reigns today is much more popular than the underdog that they were trying to push for so long. And so until Vince McMahon, finally either gets somebody in his corner to really tell him the truth, this isn't how the business isn't going to survive this way, or else, we're going to keep seeing releases, unfortunately. And if it's true what they say about what they're going to do with NXT, then it's not a developmental. It's just going to be a third brand. It's going to be another Raw, unfortunately. And the thing that a lot of fans love so much is going to eventually go away.
Man, I mean, I
Heavy
hope
stuff.
it's heavy. It's heavy. You know, it hurts my heart, thinking about that. But
it's real though. That's how we come in Philly.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. It feels like there is one exception to the rule, though. There was a report about Adam Cole having a meeting with Vince, and that apparently he's getting offered like $1 million deal or something like that. We'll see. I don't know how to feel about that. Take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, Adam Cole, if anybody can make it work, you know, on the main roster, I feel like Adam Cole is the guy to do that. That's Triple H's guy. I don't know how far that goes anymore, though. Even saying that,
it contradicts the rumor that they're going for this big guy, you know, younger and stuff. Because Adam Cole isn't big; he's in his 30s. Back to the
OVW days.
Yeah, it's like that. The two rumors is contradicting itself. So it's like, what's the truth here? You know, because
it's contradicting itself on TV because they're saying they want big young guys and they're squandering Keith Lee, they're squandering Karrion Kross. They let go of Bronson Reed. They want big young guys. Like, how much bigger or younger can they get than them?
Right.
Yeah.
I was listening to JD talk. She mentioned about, you know, NXT maybe just being like a third brand. That's another Raw, another SmackDown. Do you think that with AEW becoming who AEW is, that NXT just doesn't have to be that alternative anymore? We have the alternative now with the AEWs, the MLWs, Impact, all the other alternatives. They don't. NXT doesn't need to be that alternative anymore because before that was missing on a mainstream level. So they kind of had to provide that. But now it's like, oh well,
I get where you're coming from.
You got the alternative, so let's just make this black and gold brand.
I feel
our red brand and our blue brand.
They want to cut that tree branch to the indies because that's how NXT was. You want to say they was the alternative. They was the first ones. They bringing all this indie talent. That's what Triple H wanted to do. Now, I guess when Vince came down there and saw like what's going down, like, oh, this is how y'all lost to AEW. Nah, bro, we need a different name for this shit. So I don't sever that.
I think it was never what NXT became was never Vince's intent. It was Triple H. Like Triple H made that happen, you know. And Vince is looking at when AEW's coming around. He's thinking, okay, let me put NXT up against AEW, steal some ratings, try to sabotage what they're doing, try to beat them in these Wednesday Night Wars. Doesn't work. And now he's like, oh, well, I'm done with your little project that you had going over there, son. Yep. Like, we're done with that.
Maybe the WWE name is a stigma to NXT. Like, they can't be an alternative because the WWE name is so WWE to where they just can't be that.
The thing about it, and maybe it's just me, but NXT could be an alternative, but not like, it could be the alternative to people for people who tune into Raw and go, okay, 10 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that's how it was.
Oh, you don't like watching that? Well, we're not going to be like that. Okay, I'm watching you.
Yeah,
and you still get those eyes on your product that may not tune into
Raw.
People like me, look at Raw and just go, nah, pass.
But my pushback to that
later, but when NXT comes on, I'm like, oh, I'm watching this. Like,
but my pushback to that. I think NXT was only catering to a certain crowd like AEW because if you go and look at the ratings, they drastically go down from Raw to NXT. It's like almost half. It's like they're only barely doing 500,000 viewers compared to Raw 3 hour shitty show, still pulling over 1 million, 1.5. It's crazy. But when you go and see the ratings to NXT, it's like maybe a little over 600,000, maybe drop to over 500,000. So it's like I think they're only catering to a certain crowd. And now Vince McMahon wants to he wants to reformat it, new logo. I need some more eyes on this product. So I get from the business side where he's coming from.
Well,
but
I don't know if the thing is, I don't know if I agree that he wants more eyes on the product. I think he wants to just truly make it developmental, like it was supposed to be in the beginning. Like this company, the whole point of it is let's have these big young guys go there to train to then become the next guys I'm going to pull from the main roster, not necessarily for TV. And I don't know what that's going to mean for the USA deal, but this feels like it's more like I have a certain mindset for what makes a superstar, and this is I want you guys to focus on that, period. It's not about trying to win ratings or anything like that. I don't think my fear is the way that they're going, NXT is not going to be a TV show. It's literally going to be just the developmental farming system that they use in the background. Like we won't see it on USA, after a little bit, based on what I'm hearing and seeing. unfortunately, that's what I'm hoping against hope, that it's not true, because I think it's like the death of NXT on television, and we just go to, hey, we got Raw and SmackDown, and then you use NXT as a untelevised developmental place, just develop these stars. Yeah, I'll go down there every once in a while, evaluate the talent, and then pull up who I like, and that basically becomes it. That's what I think they're doing.
Well, that was WWE's fault, because WWE easily could have had more eyes on NXT by just simply saying, hey, you like Sasha Banks? Check out NXT. This is where she come from. Yeah. Or who all remembered the most exciting Survivor Series was when NXT was involved. It was NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown. It was a big, huge push for NXT. You got to see NXT wrestlers going against, we had dream matches basically going on around that time. And it was a perfect opportunity for WWE to continue that and use, the developmental NXT in order to introduce it to the main crowd. And that's why it always confused me whenever they bring up these NXT wrestlers or bring wrestlers from NXT UK, that they don't acknowledge that it's NXT. It's like they, Vince is trying to hide it away. Like, it's like it was always said, Vince McMahon is in competition with himself. Yeah. It was always Raw versus SmackDown. Whenever SmackDown got better, they made a draft or something like that. Things changed. They took away these writers and stuff like that.
SmackDown, make Raw better.
And now you got NXT that's doing better than both of your brands that's on TV. It's like now he has to sabotage it instead of just letting it blossom. That was NXT was pretty much your biggest thing to really go against AEW. And instead of, AEW was promoting the fact that it was Wednesday Night Wars and stuff like that. Whereas WWE, they was continuing saying, hey, check out Raw, check out SmackDown. Oh, here's NXT on Wednesdays this time. And it's like there was no it was like they were ashamed of or something, because it doesn't follow the sports entertainment model that, Vince McMahon loves to promote. And so
it was still a wrestling company.
It was a wrestling company. But the thing is, NXT was always a developmental. It was the fact that it was more it was ran like an indie company that was more related to just what's happening in the wrestling ring versus storylines. We weren't getting the storylines with the women of, oh, she's my best friend, but I don't like you, but let's be best friends anyway. And I'm beautiful and you're not. It was something different. It was just women just wrestling and putting it all out there and getting different opportunities and stuff like that. Mae Young Classic, things like that, tag team wrestling and stuff. A lot of things that wrestling fans didn't really see on the main roster. And so Vince McMahon could have easily just, kept going with that and say, hey, let's try a different model, because NXT was successful before AEW came along. And the reason why the numbers continue to drop is because WWE isn't putting, attention on NXT. And on top of that, NXT is losing that star power because Sasha Banks is gone, Charlotte is gone. Samoa Joe is back down there, but a lot of people who were on the top of the game, in NXT are now on the main roster.
Ricochet,
and where
Finn Balor, Alistair, you just kept pulling more.
And now we no longer have Undisputed Era. No longer, Karrion Kross defeated everyone on the roster. There's not a lot of Finn Balor's on the main roster now, so it's just like NXT is losing that star power. And now that AEW has come along, AEW has different people, different star power, Hangman Page and the Elite and everything like that, and Jon Moxley and Jericho and stuff. And everybody is going over to that because they're even though it's WWE names, but here comes Darby Allin and Hangman Page and people who you haven't seen before in WWE, who is bringing in something different that's intriguing to wrestling fans. But like I said, it's WWE's fault. It's your own business. You don't know how to promote your own company properly besides the two brands. They could have easily continued the whole NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown for Survivor Series, but they only did it that one time because that 1 year. And then they only took over SmackDown because the roster was.
They couldn't make it back. Right.
Oh my God. That was it.
At the time, I was
realizing it was something special, and it's like, you know what? That was really good. Let's kind of continue with that. It's just like, nope. erase it, put them back on
Act
Wednesday.
like it didn't happen, right?
That Friday night, I called it Takeover Buffalo when everybody in Saudi Arabia and the NXT stars took over. It was Takeover Buffalo, and that show was great.
It was.
And you know, I need that gift because she's right. You know, the only time that WWE actually paid attention to NXT was and started bringing their guys down to NXT was for that Survivor Series, and that was one of the few times NXT beat AEW in the ratings throughout that whole whatever you want to call it, head-to-head war, whatever. Right. And then all of a sudden they just stopped, and it was like, but wait, this was working. Like keep it going. You know,
I think there's a couple things we need to kind of remember about WWE is that even when WCW was out, WWE has always been production, over the top, glitz and glam. When WCW NWA was more of the nitty gritty professional wrestling company, right? And so now we've had 20 years of them being Kleenex, Coca-Cola, Vaseline, right? When you think of pro wrestling, it's Google. The WWE's Google, right? They got Ask Jeeves out of here, right? What, pro wrestling is, right? So, 20 years of that is what the identity is. And also, we got to remember too, us, the five of us and the people who are watching this, we're a vocal minority, but we're still a minority as far as the fanship of what this whole pro wrestling thing is. So we're very vocal. Yeah, NXT was great, but like Dev said, it's only getting a fraction of the actual viewing. The people who are spending money with WWE, they're not as critical as we are, and they're still spending the money, right? They don't care about our opinions. They care about
definitely more passionate. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I wish that at some point they would have, because Devin brought this up a couple times, during our debates on this, that they would have put NXT in a bigger arena and gave it more of a look similar to a Raw and a SmackDown, and let's just see what happens. I think honestly, in my heart, Vince was a little bit afraid of what that would have looked like to admit that, hey, Triple H, you got something over here that's better than my brand. If I give you all this, it might actually be better than Raw and SmackDown. I don't think he wanted to see that. So
it might make it seem like you need to take over,
Right, exactly.
No pun intended. Or was there?
Yeah. All right, cool. So, a little bit of NXT chat right there. We'll see what happens, what the future holds. Fingers crossed. Come on, keep it around. Keep it around.
I'm still excited for TakeOver. Excited for TakeOver.
Let's go. TakeOver 36 coming up, man. Can't wait for that. Let's get into SummerSlam 2021. All right, so the first match we're going to talk about is a match that we kind of don't even have official yet. As of this recording, we still got a week full of wrestling still to decide some of the last few matches. There's one match on here that I'm pretty sure is going to get made. Dom, you mentioned maybe you thought it wasn't going to get made. So we'll talk about this as the Raw Tag Team Championship match, potentially. We would have the team of AJ and Omos going against Randy and Riddle, RK Bro.
With 8 A's.
Yeah. So Dom, you're not sold that we're gonna get this match? That's where you're at with this right now?
I mean, after what Randy did to Matt, are they really gonna stay together?
See,
that was a love RKO.
That's what I'm saying.
And he smiled at the end. He patted his head. You gotta look at the small things. You can't overlook
that same thing to Edge last year. How they doing now?
But that was out of that was out of viciousness. This was just out of love. I'm gonna give you an RKO out of love, bro.
I don't know, man. You've seen Riddle on TV, right? He's kind of annoying. This is one of the times I don't blame Randy, and I don't like Randy. Not at all.
That's probably got something to do with it then.
No, not really. I'm trying to keep it impartial. I'm just saying, I feel for Randy because there's Riddle with all his bros and his scooters and his yogurts and whatever the hell. You're just sitting there, and eventually, I'm amazed it took this long. No wonder he was away. He was like, "No, I can't be near this dude. No. Oh, you don't bring me back? Oh, fuck."
Well,
you just done, son. I'm out.
No, man, I think that was a love RKO, man. He's just saying, all right.
I think this was more of an example of the old story of the scorpion and the frog. Like, what did you expect? I'm a scorpion. What'd you expect?
This is what it is. RKO
Viper. What did you expect?
Inevitable. All right, we can be bros, I guess. All right, let's go for your tag team.
Oh man,
But I guess if they do,
You jumped him in.
There you go.
I'll say
Blood in, blood out.
hypothetically, if we do get this tag team match and we don't end up with something like Riddle and RKO at SummerSlam, then I would probably take AJ and Omos, because if they ain't broke up by then, they will be afterward.
Oh man, okay. So you got AJ and Omos as your pick. All right, cool. All right, then let's keep going with
tag team.
Let's keep going with the predictions on that then. Let's see. Juve, man, who you got?
I hadn't considered that AJ and Omos could win until he said AJ and Omos could win. I was like, and he said, I was like, huh, you know what? That is a possibility, because there's still the story of like, we haven't even seen Omos get knocked down yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's never even lifted his feet. And so maybe
a little bit.
You see him fell. He went to his knee during the Viking race. But he's never, you're right. The drunken Homer. Right. We should call it salsa.
The three of us were doing that on a lost tape.
Right. So like maybe that's something that Randy Orton and Matt Riddle can achieve. Knocking down Omos, and then maybe what they do creates tension within AJ Styles and Omos. That's their first bit of dissension in their team. They've not lost anything. It's only been, wins and success. But yeah, I think we're just seeing a case of Stockholm syndrome. Matt Riddle's gonna be like, look, man, I know it can be a little annoying sometimes, but like, you still can be my bro, right? And yeah, so I think
Stockholm syndrome, abusive relationship.
Yeah, right.
You changed Randy.
Right. He did it because he loves me. Yes, right.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna go to counseling. It's gonna work out. The band's gonna make it. He swears.
Exactly. Right. So at SummerSlam, if we see this happen, I see new tag champs. I would love to see the pop from the crowd, because this is an entertaining storyline. I just think there's a lot of story that can be told with Randy and Matt Riddle as tag champs. Not quite like the Kurt Angle Benoit tag champs who really don't like each other, but a spin on the two partners that don't get along, but one wants to get along so bad. Please love me. Yes. The Steve Urkel and Laura Winslow tag champs.
Yep, there you go.
Juvie. Are you saying this is gonna be like the new Rock and Sock connection, basically?
I love it. I love it.
There you go.
I love it.
Sorry, it's a podcast.
Matt Riddle matching flip flops, matching scooters.
Matching scooters.
I mean, you already had Riddle doing the RKO.
Right.
Yes.
There you
You
go.
had Mick Foley trying to do the people's elbow.
I never put that together.
Yep, Rock it is decided this time.
It just popped into the mind of a psycho while Juvie was talking about
I love it.
That's how it works.
Oh, man. So Juvie, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
We got Riddle, Randy and Riddle.
Randall Keith. Shout out to Brand.
JD, who you got?
Well, it's very interesting because Juvie brought up a good point, though. Omos never actually went down and got knocked down. So at first I was going with Randy and Riddle, but it's it'll be a tale of two things. It'll be them overcoming Omos unless AJ takes the pin, or I thought they'll get the titles just to continue on this love-hate relationship that they got going on with Riddle just wanting to be partners with Randy so bad that I feel like if they were to win the titles, it'll be just another notch on that storyline. So it may be wrong, but I'll go with Randy and Riddle to take the win somehow.
Awesome.
I think so. I think it'll be AJ that might take the pin or something like that.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. RK Bro, I see them winning. Omos has his own theme song now, so I feel like they're slowly getting him ready for a singles run, which I think for AJ, I'm actually really excited to see AJ back on his own again potentially. Yes. And also too, with this draft coming up, maybe I get my dream scenario where we get AJ Styles and Finn Balor on the same damn show.
Oh,
Can we
man.
get that, please? I mean, come on. Hey, if Adam Cole decides to go to the main roster, you put all three of them together.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
That's it.
Don't tease
As
me
long
like
as
that.
it's
Please.
SmackDown.
Don't tease me like that.
As long as it's SmackDown. As long as it's on SmackDown, we're good.
yes.
It has to be on SmackDown.
Yes, it would have to be on SmackDown.
Yeah,
They're
put it
too
on
grown.
SmackDown. I'll
They're
take
too
it.
grown for Raw. It would have to be on
Oh,
SmackDown.
right now they're too grown for Raw. I like that.
My kid don't even like Raw. It would have to be SmackDown.
So Randy, and then Riddle. It is for me. Randy and Riddle. So Devin.
Yes.
Last but not least, who you got?
Of course, I'm gonna go with RK, bro. I see this. They teased a little bit of Monday Night Raw where Randy and Riddle was trying to give almost the RKO. So I think because of that tease is gonna lead up to a double RKO from the RK Bros on Almost, and that's how we get our finish.
I like that.
So
Wow.
I like that.
it is
So you
decided.
think
Yeah, I like
Omos
that.
takes the pin?
He's gonna take the
Omos is
pin.
gonna take-
It's gonna make it believable if he
That's
does.
bold.
If you do the double RKO, so you got Riddle and Randy on each side. They do it. It'll be believable. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you could take a pin
Okay.
off of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
acceptable.
cocky angry AJ that Omos cost him the titles. That's a great story.
There we go. There we
It
go.
is a great story.
And that's how they
I can
split.
see that.
I'd be
But
amazed.
actually, I think it's
It'd be amazing
the
if it happened.
but I think it's the reverse though. I think that it'll be AJ takes the pin and Omos blames AJ for them losing and then destroys AJ down the road. Like I feel like they're trying to build Omos to be this monster character. So you keep him as a guy who's never been pinned, never been beat. It's AJ's fault. He kicks AJ to the curb. Like I said, he's got his own music. You keep building that guy up. Don't carry and cross him and have him lose like out of nowhere like this. Make it mean something. That's what I'm wanting. So we'll see. We'll see.
I have to acknowledge the tribal chief of podcasting for that answer because that was bold, and he just stood up here and told us like,
Because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
he went out on a limb further than any of us. He was teetering on that branch, and he didn't care.
It is what it is, man. Sometimes I see the little things.
Hey, dude, yes.
I
Hey.
appreciate you for that, though.
All right, let's go over to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship matchup. We've got the Usos versus the Mysterios. All right, and then Devin, why don't you start us off with this one, man? Who you got?
I got Usos retaining. I think we're gonna get a little dissension.
I already know where you're going with
Because I want this, man. Damn it, I want this. Rey Mysterio is getting on his son. Like, son, you been fucking up, bro. All right? Been fucking up, man. Always, every week, been telling him been fucking up. All right? I'm telling Dominic is ready to just turn on his dad, just knock his ass out, hit his chest.
his
Uncle
last
Eddie's son.
name.
You know? Yes.
You Uncle Eddie's son.
And there we go. We will get it.
Oh, man. All right, man. So
Usos retaining.
Usos retaining and Dominic turning on Rey. You see that happening here?
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
oh, Jesus. Well, I do not see him turning on his dad. Actually, I was watching on SmackDown too, and I'm looking, I'm like, are they getting ready to turn him? I'm like, they better not. Because I don't think he has the confidence to really pull off being a heel. Like, it just feels a little bit awkward. Him as a face works. You know, he's just this nice kid going out there. He's trying his best. He's with his dad. Like, I can get behind that. You know, the kids can get behind it. You know, parents with the kids like, yeah, you know, it's like me and my son. That's cool. But, like, you turn him heel, and he's trying to cut promos and trying to be this tough guy. I'm not going to buy that shit.
Right.
You kidding me? Little Dominic? No way.
But if he's playing off of his dad, it might feel more natural, man. He might feel comfortable to go to be heel, to go against his dad. Anybody else, it might look weird, but to go against his dad, I can see that, man.
No, man. They could
I want the
write
chaos.
It. They could. I know you want the chaos, but it's not going to happen. Don't do it. They could write that, but I don't think he, at this point in his career, has that confidence to really pull off that heel character to really make that work. Like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I don't want to see it. Not yet. Maybe down the road, you know, maybe give him some more years in the business, you know, more years to build up that confidence. And then you can pull off this storyline. But right now, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But with all that said, I've got the Usos retaining as well. I feel like it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this matchup. So I'm picking the Usos to retain the SmackDown championships. JD, who you got?
I also have the Usos retaining. I don't think Dominic will be a good heel. I mean, it may work if he like tries to play the rebellious teenager or something like that, but he just got that face of like a 15-year-old, and it's just like it's not believable. Like even if you say, "Dad, I don't want to do this," like he looks like the kid that always listens to Dad. Like he seems like the dad's boy. Always, tells on his sister or what she did.
Oh, wow.
She's texting Murphy again.
Exactly.
They're on Snapchat.
I'm waiting for the opposite. I'm waiting for
Get Vince
the
to fire him.
Usos. I'm waiting for the Usos to turn on each other so we can finally get an Uso route. Because we never seen that before.
That's true.
We haven't seen them go against each other. But I feel as though they're still going to retain to continue on the, as far as the tribal clan going. So yeah.
I'm still mad that we didn't get Jimmy versus Jey Uso in some kind of match with Roman Reigns on a throne in the background, like ShowTime in the middle of Mortal Kombat. That leads to fights.
Right?
Got women fanning him. Especially in Vegas, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh man, Juvie, who you got?
Dom cannot be a heel. You say I was
Yes,
say
can. Oh no, the
got,
other one. Never mind.
He ain't even got no face fuzz, like no facial hair. And I got the 6 hairs myself, so like I get it, right? His tattoos look like he bought them from like the 25-cent store. Like he can't, right? He's not built for that. Unless he's like a Weasley heel, like just a Weasley like Seth Rollins-esque heel from like 2014, 15, maybe. But he ain't got the in-ring talent for that. To be that heel, right? Yeah. What I would like to see, because you're right, that eventually that's gonna have to split up.
Something's gonna happen. Yeah.
Because listen, if I'm Rey Mysterio, I'm not just gonna keep riding on my son's back down the ring.
Literally.
Okay. Like,
man, you grown ass man. Stop.
Right. Like, son. No, I'm not gonna have that. You know what I'm saying?
Jurassic Express in reverse.
Yeah. Right.
Seriously.
So if that were to happen, what I would rather see is Dominic like sitting Pops down, like, Pop, I love you. I gotta do my own thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
And maybe they have like a series of like respect matches, which will still be tough to see. Yeah. But I'd rather see Dominic, you know what I'm saying, like, Pop, you like, I love you, but like I gotta make this happen. I make this happen. Now I don't know if he's got the cachet to stand up on his own like that. But it'd be at least, some we could try out.
Yep.
But yeah, the Usos are taking this. Absolutely. There's really no reason to do the hot shot. There's nothing more I think we can do with them Mysterios as tag champions. I love the underlying story of like the tribal chief, the family, right? The bloodline taking out another family.
Tribal chief.
Yes.
Dude, let's get rid of this family. Let's break them up so we can be the dominant family.
It's like a mafia war.
Exactly.
Like the Godfather stuff.
They're going to the mattresses and shit.
Absolutely. Right. Dominate this family, get this family out the way so that now we can go to another family in the Street Profits.
I was about to say the Street Profits.
Wow.
Bianca Belair. Naomi.
I've been with Naomi because they broke up the Hurt Business. I was like, okay.
They gotta get Naomi in that family.
Let's get her on SmackDown. But yeah, give me a whole season's worth of Uso Street Profits in some kind of form or fashion. Yeah, I'll pay for Peacock again. I can't stand Peacock. I'll pay for Peacock.
You and me both, bro.
Season 14, season 15 of SummerSlam. I'm sick. I'm sorry.
They got that shit in seasons. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? What the fuck is this?
I digress.
Y'all know anything about wrestling? Like, what the fuck is wrong?
Season.
Season 15, episode 1 of SummerSlam.
Right. Exactly. Like, what?
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, Dom, who you got?
Oh man, well, I got the Usos retaining in this match again because we've seen this match I don't know how many times, but let the Usos retain and to Hafiz's point, everybody's saying that this kid can't be a heel. What if, considering this kid has been in a wrestling family since the womb and around Ray and Eddie and everything, what if this goober gimmick is just that, a gimmick, and all of a sudden Lil Dom pulls a Kaiser Soze and just goes straight dirt heel after swerving his father?
It'd be amazing. It would be.
That's what
I
I'm
just
saying.
don't believe it's going to happen. I don't think.
I'm just saying it would be mind blowing. Yeah. So I would love to see it happen. Like he just swerves the shit out of his father.
With a full beard in 2 weeks.
Right. He's Dominic Guerrero, and the only other thing I can and the only other thing I want to add to the conversation is when Juvie said 25-cent tats, I pictured him outside of Walmart putting coins in,
Put the water on it.
Put the water on it.
I swear.
But that's all I got. If he pulls a Kaiser Soze, especially at SummerSlam, and then down the road becomes like the biggest dirt heel on SmackDown, I will love him forever. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be great to see.
Oh man, that would be great TV. That would be. Do I believe it? No, but that would be great TV.
The one that
I don't believe it,
half of the fun.
But I'm saying
yes.
All right, let's move on to a match with no title on the line, but there is some hostilities. The way that this matchup came together is just hilarious. Over text messages not being responded to fast enough, and Viking trips being lost and swords and all this stuff. It's been goofiness, but we're here.
It's how we build a story in 2021.
This is how we do it in WWE in 2021. Yes. Jinder Mahal. Devin's guy, Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre. Oh man, this has been something. So Dom, we're gonna kick it right back to you. Who you got in this matchup?
I have no faith in the gender takers, so give me Drew. And I'm done. Drew has been putting me to sleep with stories. Jinder has been showing up on motorcycles. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just literally just dartboard every week. Okay, Jinder is on a motorcycle and steals Drew's sword. Okay, go. Like in Gorilla, and the two of them are standing there waiting to figure out what's going on. They just start running. Like just give me Drew and get this over with, please.
That's fair enough. Juvie, who you got?
I ain't got a lot for this one, man.
I don't think most of us will, honestly.
Man,
you got less than me.
The Drew train. We talked a lot on the hard cam. The Drew train, it's been just I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Off the rails.
On one hand, Drew, he had a couple reigns. This would be a great time for him to be like, okay, he's a former multiple-time champion. Let's put over Jinder Mahal and maybe reestablish Jinder Mahal as somebody to be reckoned with. But
talking to Devin right now.
Listen. When he beat Randy Orton, I was in the living room. Oh my God!
I was happy when he beat Randy Orton. I can't fucking stand Randy Orton.
Just from the shock factor alone,
I loved it. I loved it. Like, let's do this. I know injuries, multiple injuries have derailed that. Imaginary coin. Let's go with Drew. We'll take Drew.
JD, who you got?
I was also on the Jinder train when he won. I loved it because it was something different.
Yes.
It was something different. Everybody's asking for something different. We got something different, and people didn't like it. I was like, look, don't hinder the gender. That was the champ.
There you go.
Just call me the hinder taker.
He was the champ and everything. He had great entrance music still. But for this one, I think it's going to go to Drew McIntyre, even though it would be interesting. It could go either way if there's interference and, that would cost Drew to win. But I'm going to go with Drew on this one.
I will say Veer and Shanky, they're always right there at ringside. You never know.
Bollywood boys, man, they be eating their veggies.
Right? Just saying their prayers, taking their vitamins, all that. If they were gonna move Ender Shear, couldn't they just let Malcolm Bivens go with them?
Man,
I love that dude.
Yeah.
I've loved that dude
He's
since the
grown on
Stokely
me.
days.
He's
Can't
grown on me.
could they just move him up with them and not put him with the Diamond Mine? What's left of them?
Yeah, man. So on me, I got Drew. I got Drew winning this matchup. You know, I guess the only question is, are they going to do anything with this whole him almost using the sword thing? Like, of course, you can't really use the sword,
anybody.
Right? But they keep teasing it, and I'm like,
What would they do though?
just stop! Like,
What would they do though?
the closest
Like,
thing.
is
so
Drew
back in
gonna
the
stab
day-
him?
Back in the day, Val Venus did have a situation.
I know,
Choppy. They blacked it out. You know,
Peacock doesn't recognize that segment.
They do not. Peacock is like, that segment don't go
We
here.
don't know what
okay?
you're talking about.
Good point.
So I don't know, but yeah, they just need to just chill out. Chill out with trying to say he's gonna murder somebody. All right, but nah, Drew. I got Drew winning this matchup. Dev is on to you, Dev.
So I guess everybody's on the side of that fence.
Drew,
We'll have fun with the pick.
do
Yeah, about the lone wolf.
SummerSlam. Me on the other side.
I feel it. I love
Jinder, let's go. I got your back. I'm one of the few Jinder fans. I'm rooting for you, bro. You got this. Use your people too. If you need help,
I'll
damn
do
it, get the help you need and get that dub over Drew. I'm with you. It is decided. I ain't going back on that pick.
Can we pretend like it's the NFL Network for a minute and make him howl?
Oh man.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You went with your heart. That's how you do it, man.
Or
That's
is
awesome.
this too wrestling and he'll go broke after this because he's lonely?
Oh man! All right, on to another matchup without a title on the line, but you know what? This one in terms of story, this one in terms of just hype, I'm all here for it. It's Edge versus Seth freaking Rollins. Let's go! This matchup might be the show stealer, could be the match of the night for me personally.
Yeah.
The one I'm probably the most hyped about. So can't wait for this one. Devin, I'll pass it off to you. Who you got in this match, sir?
Start with me, sir.
I got a pattern going, man.
I see, man. I see. This is a snake draft. I see what you're doing. This is a snake draft.
You're already hype on Jinder. Just keep
Yeah.
that hype going.
You know what? I love what Seth is doing. And that promo that he kicked off. I don't know if you saw SmackDown tonight, but that promo that he did, you saw it. He came up with video evidence to prove that he is not Edge Light. Everything Edge did, Seth did it better. I was like, you know what?
I see no lines in anything.
I was like, you know, Edge cashed on New Year's Revolution, but Seth, he cashed in WrestleMania. I'm like, that stays in my mind. I forgot about what Edge did, bro.
Yeah, that was a nice 3-man tag team.
But I was in the Shield.
Dominant 3-man tag team of all time.
Oh, that trio was cute. You know what I was in?
Oh
Presented
man!
evidence to the court.
Yes.
And he didn't even have to grease JBL's palm.
So I'm gonna go with Seth. Honestly, it can go either way. You know, it's no title on the line, but this story's been impeccable, man. I'm loving this story. So, but I love what Seth is doing. He's next man up whenever he gets that Universal title. So I'm gonna go with Seth, bro. It is decided for me.
All right, man. I love it. You know, Seth's my guy, man. I've just been loving everything that this man has been doing. You know, with the Messiah that he was doing before, with now with the visionary. You know, just embrace the vision. It's just been awesome. Promos on point. Love what this man is doing. I just feel like Edge, having taken that L to Roman, they're not going to give him another one here to Seth. I don't think so, unless he's taking some kind of extended break again. We'll see. But I feel like this is the start of something here between Edge and Seth. I think this matchup will carry over. And, you know, next pay-per-view, we'll get some kind of, you know how WWE does. You know, they like to rehash the same old match over and over and over till it's dead. So we'll see this 10 times before this feud is over. I'll tell you right now.
Rerun ass wrestling.
Dude, right?
Also known as Raw.
Raw.
Next one will be in the cage, you know. kendo stick.
Exactly.
One
balls
after that's
kinda
gonna be
anywhere.
Punjabi prison.
You know,
Oh my
They're
God.
doing it all. So I got Edge winning this one. I think what's gonna happen is Edge wins the match, but Seth gets the last laugh after the bell. Maybe he does the curb stomp to him after the fact, and then walks out, laughing and doing his thing. So, Edge with the win, but
One of those. He won the battle, but he didn't win the war scenario.
Exactly.
yeah,
Okay,
That's what I see. Coming.
that's classic right there.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Let's go.
That's a good point.
JD, who you got?
I also feel like it can go either way. I feel like even if whatever way it goes, if they want to continue the story, they can easily continue the story. So if Seth wins, then Edge will you got over on me, or something simple or something like that. But you can't beat me in this type of match. Or if Edge was to win, or Seth Rollins or Edge was to win, then Seth Rollins could get the last laugh and does his famous laugh that he loves to do when he's a heel. But I think that I don't know because I don't know if Edge is taking time off or something like that, because he could go from SummerSlam and come back at the Royal Rumble or something. So I think I'll go with Seth Rollins on this one, because he could easily cheat or something like that to win. Introduce the chair or something like that, do a curve stomp on the chair, and then win the match that way. So I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Awesome.
Good pick.
Plus the suits, come on, man.
Suits on point.
Honestly, when I'm watching this matchup, I'm rooting for the Drip God. I'm rooting for him to pull this off. I'm picking who's going to win based off of, I think just storyline wise, this is what I'm seeing. But my heart, I want Seth to win this match. I'll tell you right now. Juvie, who you got?
I got to ask first, who's drippier, Seth Rollins or John Morrison?
Oh, man.
Seth Rollins.
Seth
Who's dripping
Rollins
harder?
right now.
I think it's
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I had to ask. I had to get
On those
a temp.
socks.
Seth
Game
is a drip.
on another
Johnny's
point.
moist. There's a
Yeah, there you go. Good
Had to get
point.
the temp real quick. This could really go either way, man. I really like the idea of Edge winning and then Seth Rollins maybe curb stomping and write him off TV. Just because he's an inconsistent performer. So maybe, write him off TV for a couple weeks. He could show up on a random SmackDown. Like, remember me? Like, it's not over, son. Let's get it going. Yep. SummerSlam, along with like WrestleMania, right? One of the tentpole events. So I'm seeing a lot more and Edge is a legacy act, which we've talked about too.
Yes.
This is a great chance for Seth Rollins to win, but I think if Seth Rollins wins, I would love a stipulation match. I love a good 2 out of 3 falls match. Maybe that's the rematch, something like that. I think for Seth Rollins to really get a victory, I think it would be on one of the lesser pay-per-views, not necessarily on a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. And I think Seth Rollins is almost Teflon. He could take a loss and come back.
Yeah.
We ain't seen Cesaro since. When's the last time we seen Cesaro?
Dude.
Down, down.
Roman.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, right, you know what I'm saying? I think we got a great chance for match of the night here, but I'm going with Edge in front of that huge crowd at that huge event. And let's keep this thing going. Run it back.
Yeah, I like it. Great pick.
My man.
All right, 2-2 on this one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I got to break the tie.
It's on you.
Why you going to put the pressure on me, guys?
You psycho.
What I do to y'all? I'm just kidding. No, I absolutely love Seth Rollins. Yes, he's got the drip. Yes, he runs out looking like a CrossFit Scarface on a weekly basis. And I'm saying that with all the respect in the world, because I appreciate it. I love the look. I love what he's doing. It beats the hell out of the Messiah. I'm just saying. I'm gonna go a little step further than Hafiz. He said, "Mike, this will steal the show at SummerSlam. Book it, guaranteed. There will not be a better match than Seth versus Edge." I'm also feeling like it's not the last time we're going to see it, but it might be the last time for a while, because I'm thinking this is a match where Seth will win, and then he will go cross the line after the match and just end up having Edge like laid out, and we won't see him for weeks, maybe even months, and then who knows, maybe Survivor Series, Edge comes back and says, "Hey, remember me? Like you tried to break my neck to get the authority back, then you tried to break my neck again. Maybe in this scenario in SummerSlam, you tried to break my neck again. I'm still here. You won't go? You won't try for the third strike, homie?" So I got Seth in a great match just to kind of ease Edge off of TV so he can kind of mend up a little bit because he's been busy and he ain't even supposed to be back. We thought he was done. All of this is bonus time. So let the man go home a little bit, spend a little time betting the kids, get himself ready for the next big match, and then come back maybe Survivor Series or just before and lead us up into that.
All right, cool. So broke the tie, 3-2. Seth Rollins, unanimous on this, but hey, it's all right, Juvie. Hey, we tried.
They'll see. Give them a couple days. They'll find out.
What can I say? Wiser minds prevailed.
There we go. Give it a couple days.
We go see.
No doubt.
Oh, man. All right, let's go to the United States Championship matchup. All right, we got Sheamus defending the title. What do we call him? Street fight Sheamus? What's the
bar fight Sheamus?
Bar fight Sheamus.
Bar
There we
fight
go.
Sheamus.
I call him O'Doyle. Is that bad?
O'Doyle.
No, don't.
Because every time I see him hit the curtain and do the whole fella thing or whatever, I'm just screaming, "O'Doyle rules!"
Man. Well, either way, hey, you know what? He's having a good time, and I'm enjoying the whole look and feel of his character now. Like it's cool, man. Just go ahead and have fun, Sheamus. It's awesome. Even with the mask, too, has been cool. And the arrow guy, Damien Priest.
Yep, that's what you dubbed him.
The arrow guy.
The man that survived the zombie apocalypse.
Now, I went from not being a fan, thinking, this is too much too soon when he was on NXT, to generally rooting for the guy, feeling like, you know what, man, Damien Priest, you all right. So, we there now. So these two guys going at it for the United States Championship. Dom, start with you. Who do you got winning this matchup?
Okay. I feel like Sheamus has had this title for a while now, and in that time, it really hasn't done much with it. Have you noticed that? There's been a lot of beatings of Humberto Carrillo, and now we've got a match on a SummerSlam card that was a pre-show match of another pay-per-view. I don't think it was Money in the Bank, maybe before. I can't remember which one. I just know it was there.
It was
because we talked about it.
And we talked about it, but they never did the match.
They never did that match.
They didn't do it.
Maybe I should tune into pre-shows then. My bad. But I feel like at this point, it's got to be Damien Priest time because they just don't seem to know what to do with Sheamus and that title outside of beat up Humberto Carrillo, beat him up week after week after week from April all the way up to last week. And so, like at least with Priest, then maybe you get some, some fresh blood, some new matchups, and maybe you get Sheamus more into the title picture because we haven't talked about Lashley and Goldberg, but eventually, once we get by that, somebody's going to have to challenge at the next pay-per-view, and he and Sheamus had some damn good matches. So maybe now's the time he drops the title, gives Damien, and then moves forward into maybe being a contender for Bobby's title.
Okay.
Like, I'm not knocking Sheamus. I love him. O'Doyle really does rule. I'm just saying, take him from the mid card and kick him up a notch.
Man, cool. So we got the first pick there for Damien Priest. Juvie, who you got?
This match really, like, we know Raw has been like literally the redheaded stepchild compared to SmackDown, but this match right here really like is telling me, listen, man, when this draft comes,
y'all better get rid of one of these guys.
Make something happen. Like you gotta even it out. Like that's 3 hours. Right. That's 3 hours on Monday. Y'all gotta even this out, right? So Sheamus, yeah, you're absolutely right. The U.S. title feels like it's just been kind of quiet since he won it from Riddle at Mania. But we got to give Sheamus some props. Like, he's been putting on slappers ever since the Thunderdome era. And so to put him in the – it's almost like it's a curse being so great because you could put him anywhere. And now, I was surprised when he beat Riddle. And I would be surprised to see him as like a true contender in the world in the heavyweight championship picture, but it makes sense. Like you put him anywhere, and it makes sense. This might be a little bit of a sleeper. I will say that Damian Priest he falls into the Bronson Reed category for me. I've never. I'm like, okay, archery. Ooh, light it on fire.
I got buttons for this too, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So, but for me, they clearly see something in Damian Priest because not too many people are gonna get the slot that he got with Bad Bunny at WrestleMania.
Right.
And so this being, he didn't get this shot at Extreme Rules. I mean, well, Extreme Rules, he had the whole the zombie thing going on, but they're putting him in some kind of important positions. So I think at SummerSlam they try to cash in a little bit. I think we got a new U.S. champion, Damian Priest.
Cool. JD, you're up.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Damian Priest. Sheamus did a good job. He really did. But, it's just so much that he can do as far as beating up everybody. And, I think it's time for him to move on to something different, whatever that may be, between now and Royal Rumble. It's this time where, storylines start to kind of drag out or it's like little filler type of feuds that we're going to have here. So I think that Sheamus is just going to go on and feud with somebody else. But I definitely see Damian Priest winning the title. I'm one of the people who's actually like, oh, wow, archery.
Yes, archery.
Nobody likes it. He goes like
Nobody
this, and the
does
fire
it,
comes up, and his name comes out.
Yo, when Hafiz first saw that, he was straight trashing that. He was like, really? Arrow guy.
Luke Harper did it better.
Yeah. So I was I'm a bit of a fan of his, but I knew that it won't really translate well once you get to the main roster. But I'm gonna go with Damian Priest to win the title here, and we'll see where he goes as far as who he's gonna feud next. And I'm hoping that he'll get some more of a serious feud. Because so far it's been with Bad Bunny, and now it's The Miz and John Morrison with the the dripsticks and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that he'll be taken a little bit more seriously instead of doing these these comedic feuds that we've been getting. So instead of turning him into the next Rick Grimes, let's see him get a little bit more serious here. I'm gonna go with Damien on this one.
I just realized we're seeing a SummerSlam without The Miz. Like, when's the last time we had a SummerSlam without The Miz?
Right?
Yeah. That's kind of messing me up right now.
Man.
The damn zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked better for Cameron Grimes than Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
NXT did it better. What a shock.
This matchup, this was like a slam dunk pick for me. But then, I don't know. I feel like the recent weeks' promos from Damian Priest got me a little worried about how this might go. Like, Damian Priest, I feel like he's been, great ever since moving up to the main roster and teaming Bad Bunny, and he seems like he fits. But, when that crowd started chanting, what was it? We Want Wyatt or CM Punk during that Miz TV segment, he seemed a little rattled, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, come on, man, come on! Like, find yourself. And he did, but I felt it. It was a little awkward. And then even this past Raw,
it's all new to him,
and Sheamus, that back and forth. I was like, I didn't feel that like, oh yeah, okay, now it's his time. It just felt like he was saying the words, but he didn't truly believe it. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. Like, if anybody back there, Vince is picking up on what I'm seeing here, and they're like, well, maybe he's not ready yet, they could decide to say just, hey, let's have Sheamus retain this championship. So I'm a little nervous about them actually pulling the trigger and giving this man a shot. I'm going to pick him to win, but I'm concerned that what's a slam dunk is now, not necessarily, so easy. And I'm also kind of dreading too. So my brother actually has had a problem with the fact that we've seen Damian Priest versus John Morrison over and over again. And even these last 2 weeks, it was the same thing. Again, he's going against Morrison. We're like, what? He texted me. He's like, are they trolling me right now? I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Like they did this last week too. He's like, you for real? And so my fear too is even if Damien Priest does win, his first opponent for that United States Championship might end up being
Oh my God.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Oh man.
You know it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah.
Come
funny.
on.
It's like
So
search
even
your
for
feelings,
that,
fans. You know it to be true.
I should be rooting for Sheamus on that, just for that. But I'm gonna go with Damien Priest. I'm gonna stick with Damien Priest.
Man.
Damn.
Damien Priest, huh?
Yeah.
See, it's unanimous here, huh?
Hey,
Everybody's on that
Are
side.
you gonna be on the
Damien
fence
Priest.
by yourself?
Everybody's on that side of Damien
You're gonna need
Priest,
to
huh?
GoFundMe.
The room
And I'm
is
gonna be
changing.
I'm gonna be on that same side with y'all.
Okay. See?
Welcome.
Right.
Sir.
Open the gate up. Keep that gate open for me and walking in.
I'm on the bandwagon.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, it's Damien Priest. But Sheamus, real talk, he's been doing a good job as United States champion. Even when he got hurt, used that mask, used that story to his advantage as well. Used it as an opportunity to tell a more of a compelling story. I like how he's using that mask to his advantage to his opponents. He might use it against Damien Priest, but in the end, Damien Priest is going to get the win. So Damien Priest is decided.
All right. We're getting to the nitty-gritty here. We've got, I think, 4 matches left to go. The top 4 championships on both shows. Let's knock out these Raw championship matches, and I'm actually going to start with probably the one that I'm the least excited for.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Goldberg versus
really?
Bobby Lashley. Let's just get this out of the way. Let's just get this out of the way. 'Cause
Out the way.
I'm
Yes.
just-
Please.
Yes.
Let's
All
rip
right.
this Band-Aid off.
Seriously.
Devin, who you got in that matchup?
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Why you gonna disrespect me like that, bro? For real.
Well, you know, anything can happen in the WWE.
Hey, listen.
Man, not this. Bobby, whoop his ass.
Hey.
Whoop his ass. He lost back-to-back WWE champion. No, not he lost the Universal. Then he lost the WWE championship against Drew. All right. How the hell did he deserve against you? Whoop his ass. Whoop his ass. All right. That's why I need to see an ass whooping and see his son cry. You know, make his son cry too. That's a bonus. I want to see him cry because his daddy getting his ass.
Where's my
whooped,
mug?
right?
I need to catch these boy tears.
Man.
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley,
Yeah.
official. You know, the one thing, and they haven't talked about it this time, but when he went against Drew, they talked about how Goldberg has never won the WWE championship. So that's the one thing where when this was announced, I was like, oh shit, is he gonna do it to Bobby? Like, is it gonna be this one? Because I had a good feeling it wasn't gonna be Drew, but I'm like, are they gonna do this to Bobby? And I'm saying, hell no, they better not. They better not. Do not do this to Bobby Lashley. No. You know, Bobby Lashley could lose to almost anybody else at this point, but not Goldberg. Have that be his big name defining win or whatever, like that legend that he's able to put on his resume, said I beat Goldberg, you know, as champion. So Bobby Lashley it is for me. Bobby Lashley to win and retain. JD, it's on to you.
I hope that Bobby Lashley destroys Goldberg in the less than 5-minute match that this is going to be.
I just love the way you said that, JD. I hope. You were so nice about it. I hope that Bobby destroys Goldberg in less than 5 minutes. Like, it was so nice, but it was so mean at the same time.
It was so sweet, but it was so brutal.
All these animated dudes.
It was beautiful.
I hope Bobby Lashley destroys Goldberg in less than 5 minutes.
Is the fact that they brought back that son, because the last time we saw the son, he won the title because he wanted to see it in front of the son. And I didn't know that was his son. First off, I thought it was some random wrestler, because I was like, and then when I noticed it was the son, I'm like, no. I remember the son. It was that little pudgy kid. This is a grown man. This is a 28-year-old. And I was like, well, maybe he got another son. Then I looked it up. I was like, no, it's the same one. I was like, no.
Same kid.
It was just like Bad Boys when Will and
Reggie.
with Reggie, they was like, you're at least 30. I was like, that's a grown man. That's now 13, 15-year-old, however old he is.
Boy, you
But the
look
thing-
26.
He did.
Hey.
And the thing that scares me is that they're bringing the son back and they're involving him into the storyline. So it's like, exactly. And so like it's putting that little hint out there that this could happen. This is the title that he hasn't won, and the son is now involved. And you know, I can easily see him bringing his son out while he's huffing and puffing because he's out of breath from this, and you know, raising up the title. But I'm just really hoping that this title is just not on his resume. Just don't let him win this title.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
You
You don't need it.
It's
You
not
don't
going to
need it.
benefit
Real?
from it.
Can we be real? He don't deserve it.
True.
Yeah.
I'm not a Goldberg fan, so that's why I'm really
I've
hoping
never
that
been a
Bobby
Goldberg
Lashley,
fan, so
you know, just beats him down. I hope that they continue this dominance with Bobby Lashley and that he just, you know, checks off Goldberg on the list and continues on into the sunset. So I'm gonna go with Bobby on this one.
Cool. Juvie, who you got?
I need to reiterate that Raw needs in this draft. Oh man. They pulled Goldberg out the mothballs for the Royal Rumble because they need top level stars on Raw.
Yeah.
Raw is struggling right now. Right. Oh, let me run through Raw is struggling right now.
Yeah.
And I've said for the last few months that Bobby Lashley is Raw's biggest babyface. Is Bobby Lashley. He is an ass-kicking, don't run from nobody, fighting champion. That is Raw's best babyface, despite the piped-in boos at the Thunderdome, despite all of that. That's Raw's best babyface, is Bobby Lashley. And for him to lose and end this title reign to Goldberg would just be a horrible way to go. So what I would love to see, a sub 5-minute match. Listen, the way he just ran through Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
If he does that to Goldberg in Las Vegas on the Peacock Network,
don't let it buffer too.
No.
Don't let it
Not for those 5 minutes.
I want to see this.
HD.
Listen, season 31 of SummerSlam. Calm down.
That's the one.
I'm going with it, man. My man, the big man, Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I gotta do it, man.
Yes. Love it. On to you.
Before I go, Juvie, can you say that a little louder for the folks in the back?
My man, the big man, Bobby Lashley.
MVP couldn't have done that better right there. All right, now as far as this match goes, now I had a fan of ours in my Facebook group ask me, like, what would your reaction be if Goldberg actually did pull this off? And I have actual recorded audio of my reaction to this, and it was,
No, God! No, God, please, no!
as I said, let's be real. I know he hasn't won the WWE title. Does Goldberg deserve it? Does this Goldberg deserve it?
This one, no, man.
I'll tell you what, Goldberg. I'll change my mind. In this match, use 3 moves, and maybe you deserve to be WWE champion. Go beyond the spear, and don't kill somebody like the Undertaker. And then maybe I'll think you deserve to be WWE champion until that day comes, which it never will.
Right.
Bobby Lashley should destroy this man. He should destroy him like he did with Kofi in less time, because you don't need to play with him like you play with Kofi. I was thrown in the towel. I was Duke with Drago just beating on Apollo. Going, throw the damn towel. I would have honestly and truthfully rather seen Biggie come to Raw with the briefcase in his hand and say, "I'm next, Bobby Lashley," instead of Goldberg. You know why Goldberg is here? Because Brock didn't feel like doing this. That's why.
Right.
So kill him, destroy him.
Yes.
Prove to everybody what most of us already know, that you are the Almighty, that you are the man on Raw, and Devin, don't take this the wrong way. Maybe in WWE. Just maybe.
Tribal chief.
I'm just saying, look at these clean wins he's been stacking, and then look at Roman.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying, maybe. I'm still acknowledging him, but maybe.
He stacked Edge and Daniel Bryan WrestleMania clean.
He
didn't have to do it, but he did.
He did.
Man. And made a t-shirt.
Was it clean?
It was like, this you right here.
Oh, man.
Was it clean though? Because I remember Jimmy or Jay out there and all that. I don't know if it was that clean. I'm just saying.
Well, we can debate that on another episode.
Well, then maybe Bobby is the dude. I'm still acknowledging him. I'm saying maybe.
Oh man, let's go to the other top championship on Raw, the Raw Women's Championship. We have the defending champion, Nikki, almost a superhero, Nikki Ash, defending against Charlotte.
Can't even get it out.
You can't even say it.
Can't even get it out.
I was like,
You can't laugh without getting it out. You should not expect me to talk nice about it.
Charlotte Flair
Man.
and Rhea Ripley. Tom.
Of course, we're gonna start with me. Like, you know what might make Charlotte versus Rhea more interesting? Put Nikki in and make another triple threat at a major pay-per-view. What a shock! What a damn shock! Like, oh my god! Like, I want Nikki to retain. I really do. But ever since I saw them take them few title reigns off of Charlotte Flair, I've been thinking like, this woman is a place setter, and this is the time. I seriously think Charlotte's gonna win, get back to 12. And then maybe have a feud with Nikki afterwards. Maybe lose it again so she can get back to 13 eventually. Like that. And poor Rhea Ripley is going to be forgotten, and she is amazing. I love that woman. I love what she does. Even my wife has a crush on her. I mean, she is ridiculous, and they are going to squander that poor woman because they're going to be too busy with Nikki and Charlotte.
Yeah,
I hear you. All right, so the official pick there was Charlotte. Okay. All right.
Charlotte for number 12 for the second time.
Second time around. My goodness.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they got Rick asked to leave too, so maybe now they'll be like, "Nah, no more Charlotte. We're done."
Ooh, man.
But I'm gonna go with Charlotte anyway and just see what happens. When in doubt, pick the queen.
True. When in doubt, that's fact.
Multiple choice. I always go with C.
Not just a hat rack, my friends.
Juby, who you got?
Oh man, this Nikki thing. I was surprised when she even won Money in the Bank because I felt like her new character is like almost superhero. Like, oh shucks, I tried. I didn't get it.
She would always
but
fail.
I tried.
Like she's almost a superhero.
Yeah. So it's like the balance of, there's the oh shucks, or there's like, oh, I lucked into it, right?
Right.
And so like her whole thing is like lucking into everything. And I don't know if I like that more versus her just giving it her all and just coming up a little bit short. I think you can get a lot more over in like getting very, very close versus being so ineffective that you're lucky. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is giving me John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H vibes from WrestleMania 24. How the focus was on John Cena and Triple H, but Randy Orton came out. I'm gonna go with Nikki, and I'm gonna go with the common theme that she's in the right place at the right time. She lucks into a roll up on Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte's foot is in the ropes, and she still gets the 3 count. Like something crazy. I'm gonna go with Nikki retaining.
Your logic is really undeniable, to be honest.
I like it. We like
not
logic
changing my
here.
pick.
Love the logic.
Love the logic here.
Stand firm.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, the logic is,
JD, you're up.
I think that Charlotte's going to win here. An interesting thing that I noticed is that Nikki Ash doesn't have any T-shirts on on WWE Shop.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's been champ for about 3 weeks now, and she doesn't have any T-shirts.
That merch. What is going
Has
on?
no merch.
Right.
Yep, merch.
Oh, there's only like this picture that they sell, I think, of when she won Money in the Bank But other than that, the T-shirts that's on there says Nikki Cross. So it's like if you were going with her with your champ and you wanted her, to relate to the younger audience with the superhero thing and stuff like that, you at least have some type of merchandise or something like that to go along with her title win. But the interesting fact that they don't have that, it's just like, okay, well, what is your long-term plans for her then, if it's not for her to start moving merch for you? Charlotte Flair right now, she is just doing whatever she wants. I don't know if y'all see her Twitter. She tweets regularly about her man over in AEW, taking photos with him and stuff like that. She's putting middle fingers up to the crowd,
Yep.
She's not getting put through tables 9 times for it.
She's just doing whatever she
You're doing
wants.
that to the queen. You're just not.
She-
Zelina maybe, but not the queen.
Yeah, she's just doing whatever she wants. Who knows? They probably took away the 3 title reigns just so John Cena can get the title or something like that. I don't know.
Don't
I don't
come out of
know.
pocket like that. Not here.
This is Vince type of thinking.
True.
But
You
I
come
think
on my show and say that, not this one.
but I think Charlotte's going to win here. I think that they took away the title reigns so that she can regain them all over again. But I do feel bad for Rhea Ripley. I think ever since she came up on the main roster, the way that they've been booking her was kind of weird because they book her as a heel at first, but now she's going against Charlotte and the crowd's confused about who they should really cheer for because it's like, well, it's one heel versus another heel. And it's just like, there's no reason to really care about what either of them are going through. So I'm happy that Nikki Ash, got her time in the spotlight. It's something that a lot of us have been waiting for a long time. Some of us don't really agree with the type of gimmick that was given to her, but I kind of figured maybe it's for the younger crowd. It's not for me, it's for the kids or something like that. But the fact that it don't even look like they're trying to do something with that either. So I think she is just mainly right now a placeholder that, this is the most that we're going to get out of it, unfortunately, and then she's going to fly off into the sunset or something. But I'm going to go with Charlotte here.
All right. Well, man, on that note, I feel like this is the peak of Nikki's title reign. I think this is the final big moment for Nikki. At least depending on what happens, depending on how this match goes, depending on how the crowd reacts to her. I feel like this is make or break for that character. If it's a killer match and she's over, all right, cool. If everyone's booing her and they don't give a damn, then that's
like in
done.
Chicago.
Yeah. Oh man, I begged Chicago. Come on now.
Yeah.
Nah, they was real.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I was torn. I was torn on this one. It was really between it was Charlotte and it was Nikki. I don't think Rhea's gonna do it. I really don't. It sucks. I feel like Rhea's just kind of a third wheel in the story, which all of us kind of agree. So in between those two, it's tough. With Charlotte, anytime she's in a matchup, I think, Charlotte's they're gonna give it to Charlotte. And to your point, Dom, giving her those title reigns back, it just makes sense. But I'm gonna go with Nikki. I'm gonna pick Nikki. Wow! I want
This dude right here, bro.
Look, here's the thing. I'm rooting for Nikki. I wanted her on television for so long after that call up, and they didn't know how to use her. Then she was with Alexa Bliss, and they figured it out for a while. And then she was off TV, and I'm like, damn. And then her husband, gets let go, and I'm like, damn. What's going on? And finally she's back on TV. She has this character and she's, part of the, it's part of her idea. It's not just something that was given to her. She came up with it. She believes in it. So at SummerSlam, I feel like they're going to give her one more big moment, one more big win. Let's see what this looks like. And she's talking about she's willing to do anything. Well, hopefully, she does something that makes us say, okay, cool. This character here, it looks like we lost Don. We'll hopefully get him back here in a second. He's like, I can't listen to this anymore. I can't listen to this.
No, I'm here.
Anything is just her kind of maybe reaching down deep and finding something. Maybe there's this like dual, like part Nikki Cross, Nikki Ash hybrid type character she can do with this. I don't know. Because I still love that Nikki Cross character, the original from NXT. So maybe we can see some of that kind of leak out, some of that dark side that she had, you know, coming from Nikki in this matchup. I would love that. Juvie, to your point, it could be that she just lucks up, you know, and like because of the match, you know, just the chaos and the mess of it, she's in the right place at the right time and just ends up picking up the win. It could be that way, but I just have a feeling it's going to be Nikki, one more win, and then after that, you know, if it's not working, then done. They give it to Charlotte again, but Nikki for this one. Devin, who you got?
2 for Nikki, 2 for Charlotte. So I am the
Split.
deciding factor. Okay.
Got Rhea out of here is what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah,
He could say Rhea, just make it a push.
Right.
Give her a chance.
But everybody made some good points about Charlotte, about Nikki. I remember the last pay-per-view fight that Charlotte and Rhea went back and forth at it. And then Rhea dropped the title to Charlotte. I was actually surprised because I thought Rhea would actually retain. I was like, all right, I'm done picking against Charlotte now. I'm done. I'm done. But now I see what they're trying to do with Nikki Ash, with this character. It's definitely for the kids. It's not for us.
Right.
You know, I love the match that they had. You know, it was like a street fight, basically, no disqualification fight. Nikki Ash and Charlotte, main event, fire match. Loved that. Showed me that intensity from her, almost like back when she was crazy Nikki. You know, I love that. That's a nice cat. I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. And it, you know, it reminded me some of that. And she did her finisher too, off the rope, just like, you know, when she was crazy Nikki. I was like, man, this is cool. So, but I think she needs a big win at SummerSlam to solidify her championship. You know, because right now is everybody's thinking like, do she really deserve it?
Right.
You know, you could say yes, you could say no. If she wins right here, then she deserves it, and I think that's what she needs. So I'm going to go with Nikki Ash. This is the last time I'm picking against Charlotte. I swear to God, it's the last time I'm doing that. All right. But after that, it's game on. But right here for SummerSlam prediction, I'm going with Nikki Ash.
Hey, Phillies used to be in the underdog. So
I wanted to
we
ask,
told y'all it'll be 2017 all over again. Underdogs, baby.
I wanted to ask what you guys think, just based off some of Hafiz said about Nikki Cross. Do you think we have like the makings of like dual characters to where maybe she can go between
like
the two?
Like the
she's a
faces of
superhero, and then one day she's like, "Man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm Nikki Cross again because y'all are wilding." And then like her Clark Kent Superman kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
I
I was
like
saying
that
like the
idea. They make her
faces of
character
Nikki
more
kind of like folded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking that's what was going to
That too.
happen
That
when
could
she
work,
was
though.
teamed up with Alexa Bliss, that it was going to be something with her that it would be like a switch between the two characters. That, you know, since Alexa Bliss has these powers and whatnot, that would rub off on Nikki Ash, and it would be like this conflicting character, which I think would be very interesting. But it depends if they are willing to let her do something like that. Maybe she wants to do this all good character to try to like wash away, you know, Nikki Cross, but Nikki Cross is kind of like crawling back. And I think it's something that could work because, you know, Bray Wyatt famously did it perfectly. And I think it could work if the person does it correctly, that, you know, something like that could work. I think Nikki could definitely get away with that.
Yeah, I agree. No, go ahead.
Like,
go ahead.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, Deb. My bad. I was just gonna say, if you look at Nikki, obviously her character right now is set up for kids. It's got to be kids, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that would kind of make the perfect transition into like Alexa's Playground, and then all of a sudden she gets a dark side that's more like crazy Nikki from NXT, who I loved, like Hafiz, and maybe even a little step further than that, kind of like with Alexa, and you know, then maybe you've got something. Because you take this character that's, again, very playful, very, I don't want to say goofy, but it's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
and you throw it into that mix with Alexa, and then you give her a dark side, and you kind of play off that, and now all of a sudden you've got a full-fledged gimmick. Where right now, just like JD had said, she doesn't even have merch. She's a champion. When did that ever happen?
Right.
But if you were able to expand the gimmick and turn it somewhat into like what Alexa is doing, now you might.
Or maybe Alexa is Nikki's Joker. Like Alexa's the
Yeah.
Joker.
I love that.
Yeah, that was my
That'd be
main.
great.
The prehistory.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
that was going to be my point. Like, use Alexa to drive that out. Maybe show glimpses, flashes of Nikki, you know, cross coming out a little bit, but then you know she goes back into Nikki Ash. Go back down to Nikki Ash. I would love to see that, man.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best story they can tell for Nikki
That would be
Ash for her
good.
championship
Mhm.
run.
Yeah.
Is between her
Or she
and Alexa Bliss, because they have history with each other.
If Alexa somehow found a way to put like Lily into Nikki, because you know everything's been Lily's fault and that kind of stuff. So if she found a way to somehow put Lily into Nikki to give her this dark character to go with this superhero, and they just kind of back and forth, and Alexa controls it. That might be pretty cool too.
This creative team meeting is going great, guys.
Vince
We're really-
Yeah, right?
Vince McMahon will shoot down all these ideas.
SummerSlam's gonna be so fire, guys.
You know what? That's the perfect title for this episode, Creative Team Meeting. It is exciting. I'm writing it down so I won't
all
forget.
this down. None of this, by the way, is good shit. I'm just putting that out.
He's like,
Why it will never air. Why it will never be seen.
right.
Cutting
Not
room
be
floor.
seen.
That's what we ought to call this. Cutting room floor.
Oh, man. Now on to the SmackDown side of things. We've got the SmackDown Women's Championship, the rematch from WrestleMania Night 1's main event. We have Sasha Banks going against Bianca Belair. Oof. EST versus the boss. Let's go. Devin.
No.
Not me. I'm not ready. I know. I'm not ready.
You better stay ready.
Oh, man. Holy shit. This is probably one of the toughest picks for me throughout this whole card. It's between these two ladies. They've both been on one. You know, Bianca Belair been doing a phenomenal job. Her had like a 4th month build for her championship, but has been perfect. You know, been a perfect face for SmackDown. Sasha took that lapse break, but it was needed because she came back even hotter than ever. Now she's a true heel. It's not like this, you know, like before for WrestleMania, it was just two competitors having a competitive match. Now we have a story. Now I'm coming back as a legit boss because you got something you took from me. So, man, but I'm so conflicted. Because you have Sasha, who has that star power. She's in Hollywood now. Disney, Mandalorian.
Season 3.
Yeah.
It's been
But then
filmed.
you got Bianca Belair, you know, Lollapalooza, you know, taking pictures of Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion, yeah.
I need the Jeopardy music on my soundboard.
Man. Oh my goodness. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna flip the imaginary coin.
Flip the imaginary.
Like my bro just
Call it.
Sasha Banks. I did it.
Oh, I didn't think you were gonna go and do it.
I know.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, all right. I respect it. For me, I'm going Sasha. It's not really that hard of a pick for me. I feel like with Sasha losing to Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, this is kind of like, okay, let's even it up 1-1. Sasha Banks is truly back. I feel like this is another one where we're going to see it continue. This is kind of their new, you know, John Cena, Randy Orton, Rock, Stone Cold, like kind of back and forth kind of thing. And I can see them
the title
going back and forth, and then down the road saying, all right, this is the final time, you know, never again. This will be the last one. Iron Woman match,
Wink,
60
wink,
minutes. Wink, wink.
It won't be, but they'll say it.
Right. They'll build it up to that, but I think this is the one where Sasha get hers back, so I got Sasha. JD, who you got?
Well, I'm happy that the build for this is a lot better than the let's be best friends, but you know, I know you want my title, but we're going to be best friends and be on the team together type of situation. So I love the fact that Sasha is back as the legit boss. I also do see this going back and forth. because they definitely have great chemistry together. I was very happy with that they had main event night 1 and that they put on such a great match. Definitely best match on the card.
Yes.
And I think that these two could definitely create magic together. I'm going to go with Sasha Banks on this one. I think as far as story-wise, it would make more sense for Sasha to win the title, to kind of like, play it off in Bianca's face. Maybe Bianca kind of feel down that she lost the title, and then kind of like have that underdog and just build herself back up to once again face Sasha Banks, whether they, go back and forth with the next couple of pay-per-views, or even if the creative team is that good, drag this out to Royal Rumble possibly, and have something, have it go big and go home at the Royal Rumble. But I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks on this one.
Cool. Juvie, who you got?
This match right here. A toss-up between Edge and Rollins. A toss-up between Edge and Rollins for match.
I was just thinking that too.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is another one. Show stealer. Yes.
This match is interesting to me for 3 reasons. One bigger than the other, so I might get a little long-winded.
Go for it, man.
So,
Your time.
For one, it's going to be a great match. That's number 1, right?
Yes.
For 2, we're nearing the return of a certain superstar who's been away for a while. Becky Lynch is coming back soon.
Eventually,
True.
And she is going for whoever's going to win this match. Now, babyface heel lines, not that the man cares.
She go to Raw.
No.
Stay away from there.
Fox ain't having it. Fox ain't having it.
Charlotte's not having it. Charlotte did not want her on there.
Right.
Charlotte did not want her on there.
Right. The man don't
gives
care.
no fucks though.
She don't care.
No.
Heel babyface lines, it would make more sense for going for Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
But here's the third thing. So I was thinking about this match, and I went into my wrestling historian brain. There is a long, long history of high-profile SummerSlam rematches from prior WrestleManias.
Right.
So let me run through this list real quick. We'll take it all the way back.
Oh boy.
WrestleMania 5. Rick Rude beat the Ultimate Warrior. SummerSlam 89.
SummerSlam.
Ultimate Warrior beat Rick Rude.
Mm-hmm.
We got WrestleMania 10. Owen beat Brett. SummerSlam 94. Brett beat Owen.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 10. Razor beat Shawn. Shawn beat Razor. SummerSlam 95.
Yep.
Let's keep going. WrestleMania 19.
Prepared.
Brock. I was ready.
Bringing
I was
evidence
ready.
to the
I
court.
was ready.
I love it.
Bringing
love
evidence
stacks
to the
and
court.
facts.
Come on with it.
Brock Lesnar
A.
beat Kurt Angle.
Mhm.
SummerSlam 03. Kurt Angle beat Brock
Kurt's
Lesnar.
revenge.
Wow.
WrestleMania 21. Eddie Guerrero beat Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle beat Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam 05.
Kurt's revenge part 2.
From the same year, WrestleMania 21, Taker beat Randy Orton. Randy Orton beat Taker. SummerSlam 05. WrestleMania 30. Brock Lesnar ended the streak.
Yep.
SummerSlam 15, Taker beat Lesnar.
Taker's revenge.
And then WrestleMania 34, Brock Lesnar beat Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns beat SummerSlam beat Brock Lesnar that same year.
And
Now
Devin did a backflip.
You got a couple outliers. So
Yeah.
WrestleMania 7, Warrior beat Savage. SummerSlam 92, Warrior won by countout. Right. So Taker beat Edge at WrestleMania 24, and then beat him again at SummerSlam 08. And then Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35, and then again at SummerSlam. So you got a couple outliers, but there's a certain history.
Majority, the percentages are where
Rematch, it's
50-50 on
Exactly.
WrestleMania
The
SummerSlam.
favor.
There's a certain history here, and I think Bianca Belair's been great.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with history. And they take you back to the one of the Emmy nominated star of The Mandalorian. And I think the boss is back on top. I don't know if we get the Becky Lynch return at SummerSlam, but then again, that Las Vegas crowd, which will be full of smart fans and people from all over the world, that'd be a huge pop there. I'm going with Sasha in the rematch.
Oh man,
Dude,
like it.
Okay.
Love the breakdown. Love the
Yeah.
breakdown.
I got you.
That's
Stacks and facts.
Thank
I
you for
always love
having
stacking
me.
facts.
Thank you for coming, because that was
No
genius.
doubt.
I have to follow that up. Like
Yes,
I hate you because I have to follow that up. What the hell am I going to say?
No time to prepare, Dom. Go.
Right. My man just had a match of the night moment right here.
That was match of the night.
You're up, Dom.
All right, spoiler alert, fans. Prepare to be disappointed because Juvie just stole the show. I had a really tough time with this match. Like I practically banged my head going like, which way is this going? Which way is this going? And I didn't go back to history, but I went back and I just started looking at the SmackDown roster right now, and I'm thinking, okay, even if Bianca does win, that kind of takes. I know they don't recycle things on SmackDown like they do on Raw. At least not nearly as much.
Not as
so even
bad,
if Bianca were to win, like who's next? And you're looking around, like Becky isn't back yet, Bayley is injured. You know, you got a couple of people, but nobody's really stepped into that title contention level. I know Zelina is trying and failing, but nobody has really stepped up to that level. So when I look at it like that, you're thinking it's got to be Sasha to try and lead this to another pay-per-view down the road and maybe stretch this out until either Becky comes back or they're able to maybe get some of these call-ups on the roster and build them a little bit more. Somebody like Toni Storm, for instance.
Toni Storm's a face on SmackDown right now, so put her up against a heel Sasha.
Yeah, we know she could be a heel though. You saw her on NXT.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
So they can switch that.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
even if you do, you give Sasha the win. She's the heel. Now Tony's the face, and you could build that and then come back to Bianca, or you could do something. Because again, we're into the creative team meeting. You know, this is all going to hit the cutting room floor.
Right.
But we're in the team. You know, you could build Tony up to have a match with Sasha, or you could do this again because this will definitely be one of the best matches on the show. It could steal the show. I'm more leaning just like 55-45 to Edge and Rollins, but this could.
It's right there for me.
I have to go with Sasha Banks in this one, just to give them a chance to either build somebody on their roster or get somebody back, and that way you keep this thing with Bianca going. Because when those two get together, it is great. They were not. I think Devin and Hafiz might remember this. I actually picked that match as the best match from WrestleMania weekend, like both nights. Bianca and Sasha, night one. That was my top. That was the show stealer. That was it. Yep. And everything else, like there were some good, there were some really ugly ones, but that was the best of the entire week. So if you want to do this a couple of times over and over, I'm all for it. As opposed to like Rhea and Charlotte.
Want to recycle something? Do this.
You want to recycle something? This shit right here.
That's what you got.
This here. This is the one.
Right.
Exactly.
Top tier.
Yeah.
So again, you were probably disappointed, but I did the best I could. Juvie stole that shit. I know.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Dom. Thank you for following that up.
I tried.
All right, we are there. We're at the main event.
We're there.
All right, so the moment that Devin has been waiting for.
Seriously.
What time it is.
And Devin's going to have to go last because we already know.
Oh, we already see the way this ended up. Devin's going last. We don't even need his pick. We don't even need it. We already know.
No.
We already know. So let's get this going. We have got the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns, against the Dr. not really Dr. Thugonomics. It's missionary position.
Oh, man.
Mr. Hollywood.
Yes, missionary John Cena.
Mr. Hollywood.
The star of
Mr.
Suicide Squad.
Cena.
The man who has the number one movie in America.
Yes, the number one movie in America. Yeah. All right, Dom, it's on you, man. It's on you to start us off here. Who you got? You going against the tribal chief? That's what this one should be called. Are you going against the
Let me take a moment. Let me take a moment and build the suspense, okay? Hear me out. We all know Ric Flair has to be released. What if he has to be released because a certain somebody was going to break his record and he just wasn't feeling it? I mean, everybody says it's because he wants to go to AEW. Everybody says that. What if it's because they plan on giving this man 17, and Ric Flair's like, Nah, I'm not here for this. Let me out.
And the dots would be connected a little bit better if that were, but yeah, we'll see.
I know.
You think Rick cares that much about it?
If I'm sure Devin will probably go and put like a tinfoil hat on my head during the editing. I'm just trying to break it down, okay? Because if there is one man that could end this run for the tribal chief, if there's one,
And his name is John Cena.
and I don't even want to see it. And because I don't want to see it, I'm taking the tribal chief. Swerve, you got to
All right.
all that shit, and then I just hold it. You turn on you.
Oh man, Juvie, who
Got
you
you,
got?
bitch.
I love a good Chappelle Show reference in life. Anyway,
I use them a lot.
I love
I really
it.
do. I use them a lot.
Oh man, this I gotta say, man, I was thinking about this match compared to the No Mercy match. What was it, 2017? That to me was like their Hogan Warrior kind of match, right? This build hasn't all the way been there for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the excitement is just John Cena, Roman Reigns, who is the best thing on WWE television right now. The head of the table that I sit at, my tribal chief, right? Salute. This past Friday, because I thought of, okay, let's say John Cena wins and he's the 17-time champion. He would have to defend it.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have to defend the title, right? But the promo that he did in the nod to CM Punk, which was very just nice inside. That was great.
Oh man,
It was.
I might blow you a kiss too. I was like, oh,
this man.
It was timely, and he did it against John Cena, right? The face of the company 10 years ago, and John Cena do it against the face of the company now.
Yep.
That was great. That was great for me. So it answered the question of, okay, well, if he wins, he could just leave, right? Storyline wise.
Right.
Right. WWE loves some history. They'll love to tell you they're making history when they're not even making history.
Right. They love saying history was
They
made
love
for the
saying
first
history
time
was
ever.
made.
First
They
time
got
ever.
all the
First time,
ingredients.
never before, never again.
Right. All the ingredients for history.
Entertainment.
Yeah, right. I think this match is gonna do what the No Mercy match tried to do. Through no fault of Roman Reigns or John Cena, it didn't hit the same way after No Mercy. That's a creative thing. But Roman Reigns is hitting on all cylinders right now.
Mm-hmm.
All the cylinders. He actually borrowed some cylinders to hit on them. You know what I'm saying? My man Roman Reigns is taking it. Roman Reigns is taking it.
I can't with you, Devin.
Yeah, man. Yes. Epic main event match. Roman Reigns is taking it.
Cool. JD, are you going against the tribal chief?
Well, I had
Don't do it.
I had the tribal chief like 100% go, and then John Cena opened up his mouth and just knocked down the tribal chief a couple of steps, especially when he started to say you were protected. He started to go after talking about the Shield, how he ran Dean Ambrose out of the company, and I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. Came at his teeth, said,
soap bar teeth.
bars of soap that you call teeth or whatever. And it's just like, obviously John Cena is the one who set up his own promo for, because I was like, I really highly doubt that the creative team is like, yeah, John Cena, cut a promo against our champion and, talk about how he's protected and all this other stuff. And it's just like, they're really like setting it up, this doubt that John Cena could win it, especially the fact that, this would be the record breaking win. And with Ric Flair leaving the company, especially if he potentially goes to AEW, they love to wipe people off the mat. So if they feel as though that may be something that they'll do, they may pull this off and, try to wipe Ric Flair off the map. But on top of that, it's like, well, like Judy said, he has to defend the title.
I got like the Britt Baker pose.
He has to defend the title, and it's like, well, who's he going to defend the title against? He has to go back to Hollywood, obviously, to make Fast and Furious 10 or whatever it is that he has to do, whatever it is that he's going to be doing.
TV show.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then Wipeout come back.
Wipeout, like Roman said, he has 4 things out right now that he has to go and promote. And it's like, it's John Cena. And then he started talking about how all I need to do is hold on for 3 seconds. That was 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I really hope they're not trying to pull this off. Like, don't tell me you're gonna finally get Roman Reigns over with the fans.
Golden shovel.
And you just do this. You finally get him over. He's finally popular with the fans, even though they still piped in the booze for him. And it's like you finally do this, and you're bringing in Super Cena. This is Hollywood Cena on top of that. But I'm going to go with the Tribal Chief. I feel as though there is that possibility that they might pull this off for Cena. And they could easily, next SmackDown, have the Tribal Chief go against John Cena again and then drop the title there. But I have that feeling that they're crazy, stupid enough, I should say, to have your number one guy on SmackDown drop the title to John Cena.
They could be.
Yeah. It's something that they could definitely do.
By the way, if you're watching at home, my swerve was good. Hers was better. I'm not.
But I'm going to go with the Tribal Chief here. I think that Super Cena is not going to kick out at 2. That the Usos will. Everybody and their mama, every single member of the clan is going to come up in here. We may even get a new member. What I originally thought was maybe Brock Lesnar comes back and takes out John Cena, and especially if John Cena tries to, stay until whenever, because we don't know how long that he's going to be back for. That they might do something like that to kind of, because now WWE is in the moment where they need to get the viewers back, so maybe they bring back Goldberg now to take out John Cena, and then we'll finally get Paul Heyman's worst nightmare. Which of his men is he going to choose here? You know what I mean?
Right. Oh,
insurance ain't having that. Hollywood ain't having that.
Advocate counsel.
Brock who?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He gave John Cena 14 suplexes at something. No.
17.
Yeah, that's why I think like he's
17.
He's not going to win the title because Plus he got smaller and stuff. It's really weird to look at him now. He's all Hollywood. He's Hollywood Cena. He's Hollywood Cena now.
Cena.
And he pretty much came in the same way as Goldberg, just coming in saying I'm next, basically, without But his promo's a little longer than Goldberg. But I think that the Tribal Chief will win here.
Well, you did stomp on Finn to get that title shot.
I know, and I really hated that.
That's so
I
good.
really hated
Yeah.
that.
At least he did a little bit more than Goldberg. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I was hoping for Goldberg, Finn Balor versus the Roman Reigns, but
I love Finn Balor, so me
I
too.
still get that.
September.
I still get that.
Yeah.
It's still time. There's still time.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so three picks in a row
For the Chief.
For the Chief. And it's funny because in each one, what's interesting is everyone made a case for why John Cena could potentially win this. But at the end of the day, everybody took the Tribal Chief. So
I chose who I wanted to win. I know who WWE made me want to win.
I went with logic.
I wanted to win.
Hey,
But that's a kudos to John Cena and how great he is on the
Yeah.
microphone, just to create that little bit of doubt. Yeah,
I know.
And how easily he can bury someone in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They won't let nobody else do
Corbin.
that style of promo though. That's the thing too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
They
You're not
should.
letting.
They
You're not letting
don't.
Baron do that. You might let NXT Finn on Tuesdays do it,
Mhm.
but not
Right?
not
You might
Friday.
let Kevin
Finn.
Owens every
not
now and
Friday
then.
Finn.
Oh man. So with everyone made great points, both ways, and listening to everybody, and coming into this, I was torn. I'll be honest with you, I was torn because for me, you look at it, John Cena, he's Hollywood, like he's got Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, #1 movie, and what Roman Reigns, he got 4 other movies going on, right? So I'm gonna do you a favor, like I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna send you back to Hollywood. Doing what you're doing. I'm like,
Doing
yeah,
them
logically
made-for-TV
that makes
movies.
sense, right? There's something about John Cena. There's something about anytime this man shows up, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, dude, this is Vince's guy. This is Vince's logo,
Yeah.
for the WWE. This is the guy that he puts, Roman said this too. If there's a Mount Rushmore, you might be all 4 faces. Like you are everything, So, for me, I'm looking at this, I'm like, are they crazy enough to do this? To stop Roman Reigns' run at SummerSlam against John Cena? Will they actually give John Cena the record, the 17-time champ, erase Ric Flair, not have a Flair on there for the record anymore? We know, Charlotte could come up later on and take that too. But, and of course, and also too, R-Truth, how many times 24/7 champion is he? Are we not counting this?
I think he's in the 40s. 40s?
Are we not
Maybe in the first
46
50s.
months ago, homie.
Oh man.
In the
and
mid 50s.
it's just he makes it so tough. John Cena makes it so tough. And he said that all I need, because you're gonna beat my ass. You are gonna beat my ass. You're gonna beat the hell out of me. You're gonna spear me. You're gonna do your DC hero. You're gonna do another.
Pour the man down.
Punch.
You're going to hit me with the orange punch.
And all I need is 1, 2, 3. You all know how resilient I am. He did it to Brock. I'm like, yeah, he did. He did. I thought he should have lost that match, but he did it to Brock.
Not that one SummerSlam, but yeah. He did, though.
It's John Cena. I'm like, man, is there a way? Is there a way that they actually give it to him? And you know what? I know y'all been swerving, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not swerving. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Don't play the music. Play the music. You got it.
You got me laughing now. I'm excited. I'm sorry. We're gonna go.
He said, find it. Play my music.
Oh,
Got it.
man.
His name is John.
I'm doing it.
Hey.
John Cena for the win.
Brave.
17-time champion.
Hey.
Where's my
towel?
towel?
I think they do it. I'm sorry.
He's talking to the shirt.
I'm doing it. Tribal Chief,
Woo.
I'm sorry. I feel like when the other thing too is when John Cena said, I'm gonna jump over the barricade.
Oh, that was
I'm gonna be with the crowd. I might even blow you a kiss. I said, oh my God, what if he does that? And then the championship could be vacant and we could start this whole thing up again right before the draft.
We can fire up the
What
CM
is-
Punk storyline all over
He is
again.
not doing that.
Oh my!
I don't see John doing that, but
It's
the
COVID.
threat of it.
Right.
First of all, COVID. He is not going. And he's Hollywood.
All of a
I
No.
sudden,
having it.
all of a
No.
sudden John Cena becomes the voice of the voiceless. What world are we living in?
I know.
I loved it. It was great storytelling by John. The other thing too, the dark horse in all this would be, even if John Cena wins this matchup, or even if Roman Reigns wins this matchup, there's still Big E, in the background too. And him potentially cashing in. Tease Paul Heyman. He looked at him like, "Hey, I'm here." So potentially, I know I want
Could
Big E
happen.
to cash in on Bobby Lashley, but I feel like he could end up just staying on SmackDown and doing his thing and cashing in on whoever wins this, no matter what. So there's so many factors in this. Finn Balor, what does he do? Like, does he look for revenge and cost John Cena this opportunity? He could. There's all these angles to this, but something tells me, because Vince is so damn unpredictable. Something tells me that this man, the one thing that stays constant is that he loves this man, John Cena. He just thinks the world of this man. And to have him break this record now at a time where he's still good enough to still do a solid matchup. You don't want to wait until, he's completely washed and can't go anymore, can't do a, 15 to 20 minute matchup. Do it while he's still not in his prime, but like still at that level, to where he can give us, John Cena. So it just feels like a moment where it really, really could happen. And you know what, man? Kudos to John. He got him. Hey, to the Tribal Chief. If Tribal Chief wins, cool. Like, I'm not mad at it if he wins. I'll just say that right now. But I'm just going with what the story's telling me. This is real, man. Like, John Cena has a absolute chance, a strong chance, and more than 50% chance to win this matchup, Devin. I'm sorry. We already know who you're going to pick, so it's fine.
I mean, that's a really good point, though. I completely forgot about Big E. Like, if Cena was to win this, like, Roman Reigns could turn around, beat up John Cena so bad, Big E cashes in, and then we have Roman Reigns versus Big E.
Think of the promo.
With the draft, and then if it lasts through the draft, we can have the New Day on SmackDown. There'll be the Tribal Clan versus the New Day. So it could definitely go that way.
Yeah, I think he deserves a longer story, though. But I think he deserves a longer story because I think he does cash in on Roman Reigns. I think maybe he teases at SummerSlam, but I think that the bigger, longer story for Big E, I think, would be a little more satisfying. But there's always
it would. But what if Cena's promo comes true? What if Roman does just whoop his ass and Cena manages to get a 3 count and he's laid out in the middle of the ring, beat down, and all of a sudden here comes Big E with the briefcase?
Because the 17th reign doesn't have to be long. It's just 17 reigns.
He's got to get it.
He's just coming here.
I might as well just switch y'all picks. Switch y'all picks then. Switch them. Go ahead and switch them. You non-believers. You non-believers.
All right, calm down. Only one of us picked him. Calm down. So you remember, like, when Brock became the youngest WWE champion, and then he dipped, and all of a sudden Randy became the youngest WWE champion. What was that title run, like 3 weeks?
Unforgiven the next month.
It doesn't have to be a long reign.
It doesn't have to be a long reign. It just has to take somebody out of the record book. And so if Cena were to win, there's history. Biggie cashes in. Biggie's champ. Boom, gone.
I can't believe y'all forget. Y'all talking about all these records, but y'all forgetting about the record that Roman Reigns is going to break. So let me, since Juvie brought up the records, let me go down the list with Paul Heyman. So CM Punk with Paul Heyman, 434 days.
Right. And then Brock
with Paul Heyman, 503 days. Currently, right now, the champion, Universal Champion, head of the table, Tribal Chief, sir, with Paul Heyman, 335 plus days.
Right.
My man's about to be head of the table of that record.
Right.
He's not dropping.
Say that again with
Devin's about to break out a whiteboard and some glasses on.
Yes, I got my glasses right here. I can put them on. I can get to working.
Question for you on that, though.
Yes.
Were those records with the Universal Championship?
Only with Brock was the Universal, 503 days with the
Brock,
Universal title.
Okay, with Brock. Okay.
WWE title was with CM Punk. So, yeah.
But do you think Roman is a guy that needs that to validate himself as one of the greatest of all time in the eyes of WWE, Vince McMahon? It won't take that. That won't stop Michael Cole from saying he's the greatest, of all time, or of this time, or however he wants to do it now with Cena and Roman Reigns in the ring together.
Can I take that a step further, Hafiz? All right, so CM Punk set the record, right? And then he just gone. So in order to replace the record, put Brock in there, and then he holds the Universal title that long. If you let Roman Reigns take this record, you might as well just have Brock pull a Punk meet. Gone. Is Vince ready for that? Because he's still bringing back Goldberg. There's still rumors of Brock versus Bobby.
Brock be kind of doing that though. Like CM Punk left, Brock is always playing a negotiation role. I think Roman Reigns, between the family history, the Paul Heyman connection, he's the least likely to just leave.
Oh,
Right.
With
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
He's what? You said 335 days. When you,
335 plus days.
dog, forget John Cena, forget Big E until like 2022. I acknowledge Devin.
It's inevitable.
There we
I'm
go.
just saying
It is decided.
You know, they used one to replace the other when he dipped.
Yeah.
If Brock isn't ready to dip and then they replace his record, does Brock just say, "Well, fuck, I ain't coming back"?
Brock don't
And
care
is
about none
Vince
of that.
ready to
He don't
accept-
care about the
about
belt
money.
anymore, man.
Yeah, he cares about money.
Yeah.
And I think we're overstating the Ric Flair influence because whether Ric Flair is there or not, if they want to give him 17, they just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And Ric Flair leaving, I don't think enhances the chances or not because they already called John Cena the greatest of all time.
Right.
And we know who Ric Flair is regardless. So I would love to see him on AEW with Arn Anderson, with
Plus it would
Tully
be-
Blanchard, like 16, 17.
Oh, I would
Oh
too.
man, but I think that Vince
I
though
would
is kind of petty, and
Yes.
with Ric Flair potentially going to
Super
AEW,
petty.
he's not gonna let the guy who has the record
Well,
be
that-
on AEW TV.
that,
Nah, he's gonna
and
want the guy who's loyal
Ric
to him.
Flair,
Yeah.
and we all know this, but for the younger crowd, if you're watching, Ric Flair's record was not set in WWE.
Nope.
No, it's all over.
It was all over the
over.
place.
All over
John
the territory.
Cena, John Cena's 16 titles all have WWE on them. So if you want to take
Facts.
the mantle and make it yours, what better way
Yep.
than have it happen at SummerSlam?
Not gonna happen.
Oh, we already know what you gonna
Not
say.
gonna happen. And you know what?
Devin, we
You
know.
know what? I don't think BE will be a factor. It'll be Finn Balor be a factor because he said he got business
that
to
can be
handle
good.
with John
No,
Cena.
absolutely.
True.
So I think
Yeah.
he will actually interfere. It'll be. I don't think the Usos are gonna interfere. I think Finn Balor will interfere, and then we'll just branch off and we'll do like John Cena and Finn Balor for however how many weeks we got left with John Cena before he.
See, but
dip
I don't
off.
think. Here's my thing, though. I don't know that John Cena has a match after SummerSlam. That's why I'm
Yeah.
thinking Big E. You know, I'm thinking Big E. I think there's a cash in, and they handle that right then and there. I think regardless of who wins, I feel like Big E is a real factor in all of this, in that he could just cash in, you know, and be the guy standing up at the top at the end. So we're all wrong. It's Big E.
And this,
You know?
and this match could be ultimately chaos. Like you could have the Usos, you could have Finn, you
Finn.
could have Big E, all
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the same, just running in
I
left,
think we
right,
get the
center.
straight up match. I think we get
Yeah.
a straight up match because Roman Reigns is about his pride still.
True.
He's about his pride. And if he wants to have the clean match against Cesaro,
Hey, he did.
he is going to say, yo, Jimmy J, listen, relax. I got this. I think we're gonna get a straight up one-on-one match. I think it's gonna be straight clean.
But then again, too, though, remember he had stacked Daniel Bryan and Edge, and you would think, you know, if I've stacked two people, you know, in the same matchup, I don't need any help if it's one-on-one. But we sure did get interference in that matchup against Edge one-on-one. You know, there were a lot of people involved in that one, so I feel you. I feel like logically what you're saying makes sense, but we all know WWE is not always about the logic.
Yeah,
Not always.
No,
Right.
again, a lot of these ideas.
Only when they feel like
If we were in creative, they'd end up on the cutting room floor.
Right. What I'm saying right now is too logical.
I'm just saying.
Like,
That makes too much
throw all that
sense.
out. We need
You
you
Makes
waste the dry board.
Right.
We lost Joe.
Oh, not you.
That makes too much sense.
Oh man. So well, hey, I mean, Devin, we already know you picking Roman Reigns. Like that was already.
How many times did he stroke
already
that shirt
know.
while we were talking?
Yeah,
You know who
I
he's
know,
picking.
right?
We already know.
We might
There
as well
we
just
go.
say, well, Devin's picking Roman. Okay, who's next?
I guess for you, Devin, you know, clean victory, no interference, beats John Cena, stands up with the family, all of them with the gold credits. That's what you see.
I like how you painted that picture,
I'm just,
sir.
I'm,
You
I've
know,
been working with you long
You
enough.
don't like
I
how
feel
he
like
picks
I know.
I would love a clean, straight up,
Yeah.
you know, between John Cena and Tribal Chief. I think it deserves that. And, you know, behind the scenes, too, you know, Roman Reigns, he got some pull in WWE. So I think how he wants to orchestrate this match, it might lean towards the, all right, this is part of my legacy. This is what John's going to do for me. So I think he wants to go that route with the one-on-one. no interference. So fingers crossed. I'm going with that, no interference.
No interference. All right. All right. Cool.
Yeah, get him out of here like you did with DB. You know what I'm saying?
Back to Hollywood.
I think John
one,
wants that too. Like he's a student of the game.
Yeah.
He's been around 20 years deep, and he's here to put over the next generation. He'll talk shit about how Roman Reigns ain't the guy. He knows Roman Reigns is the guy.
Yeah.
So give him a clean victory 1-on-1, and yeah, John is with it. He making that movie money. Y'all can bullshit with rap if you want.
although I will say, you know, John did give him that one face-to-face matchup, that one-on-one matchup, and Roman won. It, like, if John Cena had beaten Roman all those years ago, I think I would be even more so saying, oh man, I can't go against him. But there's also that 50-50 part of this too, where, you know, it feels like they don't ever want to have a clear, like, oh, this guy was clearly, he could never beat this guy. Like, there's always some way to kind of clean that up. And again, John Cena, I feel like he's to that point in his career where I don't think he has too many matches left, you know, that he's going to give us. So you give him this win, it becomes 50-50 between him and Roman, where, okay, like, he won one, John drops the title immediately, and that's it. He moves on. Gosh, there's so many ways this can go. I just feel like it makes for a fun main event. I feel like this is why I'm kind of excited about this whole show. It's because
I got something that I think Devin's
going
to like. Because on the other hand, if you look at Cena's career, there was a man he could never beat, and that man was The Undertaker. And even at WrestleMania, he was begging him, do something, begging him. Finally got him in the ring. What happened? He was done in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And how many people beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Like, yeah, there was Brock. But who else?
It was Roman.
Yeah, it was. He wasn't
I
tribal
knew
chief
Devin was
back
gonna like
then.
that.
He wasn't tribal chief back then.
Again,
He was just a big dog back then.
I'm pulling
Just
his
a
Juvie
big dog.
now,
Yeah.
and I'm going back to history.
Yeah.
Because there have been men that John Cena could not get over the hump with. The Undertaker was one.
Yeah.
Is Roman the other?
Oof, man.
Possibly.
Hey, man, they could go that route, you know. But at the end of the day, all it takes is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
Well, he kept
I made
saying,
him feel better.
I'm sorry, Devin.
His partner made
He's
him feel
building
worse.
that universal title, man. Whoever gets
That's
is
your
gonna be
co-host,
the
It's
man,
built.
bro.
It's built already. It's built.
It's built, but he's building it
How
to a
much
whole
higher
nother
can it
level.
go?
Once you brought up the record, everything else just dropped from the bottom.
Oh,
Once you brought up the record, nothing else makes sense.
And does
We-
Brock's run with the Universal title count? Because he had like the strawberry belt and Roman's got the blueberry belt. So it's not the same
This
belt,
is a
right?
whole new thing.
See,
He didn't do it with the red belt.
Nah, go ahead.
Didn't do it with that blue jump.
Trying to
He
weasel
did it with the
yourself
red
in,
jump.
like, nah.
Not the blue jump.
It's a universal title. Red or blue, doesn't matter.
Oh man, we are there. We went through the entire card. We'll see, you know, in this next coming week if they have more matches. But overall, like, this is a pretty stacked card overall. So it looks to be a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun breaking this down with you guys, doing this prediction show with you guys. It's been a blast. Before we cap it off, as we always do on the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast, we like to give our guests an opportunity to shout out your social medias, your just everything you got going on. So we're gonna go around the horn. JD, I'm gonna start with you. Tell the people where they can catch you.
So you can catch the podcast on Twitter at WrestleRed. The link in the bio will also give you the links to Instagram, the Facebook page, YouTube, which I need to work on, especially now that I have a camera. I plan to do a little bit more with the YouTube channel, maybe do some reactions to matches that I haven't seen before and things like that. So be on the lookout for that. You can also catch me on Twitter at JDC137, also on Instagram as well. I plan to start a Twitch channel as well. You can also see my cat Oreo, who likes to lay up on my desk and be in the camera as well. But you can catch the new episodes live for the podcast every Thursday on Mixler around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time as well.
Awesome. Juvie, tell the people where they can catch you.
Doubt. Hit me personally on Twitter and the Instagrams at Juvie Desayuno, JUVIDESAYUNO. Check out me and Big Ren on the show page, Twitter and the Instagrams at The Hard Camera. Shout out to my tag team partner, Big Ren, the legendary. You can catch him, A_MAAM. It's a motherfucker. I always forget how to spell it. A motherfucker.
There we go.
A_MAAFAGCKA. Check us out on the show page. You'll get his spelling. Shout out to my tag team partner. It's the gift happens, man. The Hard Camera.
Awesome. Dom, tell the people where they can catch you.
You can find me on Twitter. Just look for an asshole. No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
You better be careful. Somebody's been acting like, all right, let's
all right, yeah.
I don't see no Dom on there and asshole. No. You can find our show on Twitter at Top Rope WT. You can find us on Facebook. We call Facebook our house, because we have our office, which is our entertainment website, and then we have our public group, which is like our living room, where we come and we kick it with you, the fans, and we talk wrestling and we report things, and we even put our show in there for some of the people there. So either way, you can search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk. You're going to see the group. It's public. You're going to see the page, mostly for podcasts and links to pretty much everything I'm already talking about. You can find us on Instagram, and I hate Bruce for this, and even Devin's asked what he's smoking, so bear with me, people. At top_rope_wrestling_talk. I think you should have let me name that one too. I'm just saying. And of course, you can find our YouTube videos on our channel under TRWT (parentheses Fox Den John). You can also find our audio podcast platforms on anchor.fm/TRWT, or you can go to thewrestlingindex.com and search for Top Rope there. And as far as me, you can find me at S_Philly Psycho on Twitter if anybody wants to come and follow me personally. I'm not that busy there, but usually because I'm keeping the show Twitter alive.
Awesome. And Devin, tell the people where they can catch us.
I'm going to let them know. All right, I'm going to give y'all the abbreviated version, but you can follow all of our social links, all of our podcast episodes, not only in audio and video, on the ClarkStreetWrestling.com, on the website, also the WrestlingIndex.com as well. You can follow all of our episodes. So on 2 websites, actually. So not 1, 2 websites, actually. You can find us. All of our episodes, and of course, our merch. Right here.
Your merch.
Right behind me. Get that tank.
That middle
other
one.
tanks.
And the other one, not the tribal chief
Not
one.
the tribal
No. Right here. The blue one. The only blue one. Directly right behind my bald head. My bald,
on the right,
sexy
they
head.
made that for him.
Right there.
But
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle.
Yeah, right here too. Right at the top. Yes. And I can't forget about our motherfucking beach towels. You better get the motherfucking beach towels for the summer. It's almost over. Go get them. Get your ass off that hot ass sand. Don't burn your ass. All right. Don't burn it. Get the motherfucking beach towels. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store. It is decided.
Oh yeah, we got that too.
For your pleasure.
I totally forgot about that.
All right, y'all, fam. Thank you so much for being here with us. This has been a lot of fun. JD, Juvie, Dom, Devin, I'm Hafiz. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Acknowledgement.